socials.
Taking down the other podcasts one by one.
Who are these socials?
That clip is why people make fun of you.
With Carl.
This is all just for the radio.
And Blind Mike.
We have a lot of business to take care of.
Who are these socials?
We are the #1 podcast on the internet today.
WATS.
Welcome to yet another episode of WATS, the show thousands of people come to answer the age-old question, what's the deal with social media? This is the only podcast about social media that doesn't have a subreddit dedicated to hating it yet. I'm your host, Carl Hamburger, and with me, as always, is Mike Geary, a.k.a. Blind Mike. What's up, Mike?
Guys, if we hit our goal today, get your wallets out, because I will stand.
That'd be very impressive. You were able to stand up.
Look at him, like a regular boy.
There are rumors going around that Opie just signed a deal. He's the new morning man on WABC. Ooh. And that I won't read your super chats. The latter is simply not true. I will read every super chat that comes in. And if you want to participate in the super tip system, we encourage you to do so. supertip.gg/WATP. Not only do you support the show, but you can have a little fun with it and be a part of the show. And so check that out. supertip.gg/WATP. The way we start this show is quite unique because Mike and we have a rapport. I went back and I was checking out our very first episode. Mm-hmm. And the way I started the show was talking about how we don't know each other at all. Really? And now I feel like we've grown so much together. I would never say that now.
Right.
Now we're fast friends.
No one would believe it now because
no one would even believe it. Right, because of the chemistry and the rapport. Yeah. And what we do is we do this thing called Banter. We started out the show. We have a lot of social media stuff to get to. We're going to play clips. We're going to laugh at jerks. A lot of things going on. But before we do any of that, we have a little discussion back and forth. I bring up some topics. Mike and I discuss it. We call it Banter on here.
Yeah.
And, we have jingles for Banter, which is a very important element of the Banter section, the jingles that lead us into the Banter. Well, Jen from the jingles department, she's been playing with AI music lately. And now I'm not a big fan of AI music. I don't want it on my show. But she was showing me some potential Banter jingles.
Tune in to Banter. Let's listen to the Banter. Tune in to Banter. Let's listen to the Banter.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. You're from Boston. You probably like that one a little bit.
Oh, man. When they play Shipping Out to Boston.
Hey, right? Little Dropkick Murphys action.
It's fun every time.
All right. How about some doo-wop? This is another one from Jenny from the Jingles department put together for us.
Okay.
To do to Banter. Listen there and watch your hair. On fire and banner. Benny in the banner time. Banter, 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 banter,
I loved the part where you lost interest in that and stopped having fun. You're like, how long is this going to go for? We get it.
Oh, well, it was a little long, but that's actually more my style because people think I'm from a time where that music was popular.
That's true. Yes, I can understand why you'd fancy that style of music.
Yes.
So, all right. Well, if you want to submit your own Banter jingle, we do appreciate the non-AI version, although I did just break our rule right there.
Yeah.
And played a couple, but
keep humans in work. Jenny's costing herself a job here.
I know she's a very good singer. And she's also a very good artist. And she's been playing with AI art generators and AI music lately. She's been having a ball with that. I wanted to start out by talking to you about, I finally got caught up on Why Are You Laughing, which, by the way, I'll be appearing on tomorrow.
Yes.
We'll be talking about Weird Al Yankovic. But I was checking out the Paula Poundstone episode. And I remember when you first talked about that, I go, oh, she's funny. And you're like, huh? And I went, oh, yeah, I haven't enjoyed Paula Poundstone since I was like a young kid. She probably sucks.
It's not that she's not funny. Like,
well, that's what I was going to say. What I appreciated was you thought she sucked, thought she was a hack. You went back and checked it out and you went, well, she's not a hack. She writes well-crafted jokes.
Not for me, a bit of a cornball, but she, like, we covered Richard Jenny the week before and I thought she was a better comic than Richard Jenny.
I see that.
Yeah.
Because she writes jokes.
Right.
they're not all great, but even Stephen Wright had a lot of stinkers. As great as Stephen Wright is.
Yeah, I could see why Paula Poundstone had an audience, whereas like people like the problem with Richard Jeni wasn't even really his fault. It's that I've listened to Rogan talk about him for 10 years and go, this guy, he crushes.
He's a murderer.
And then I wouldn't listen to his stuff. He's singing Platypus Man. And
that's tough one. I can understand that. Well, anyway, Why You Laughing is a great program. Check that out. They just recently covered Paula Poundstone and all the salacious details of the Paula Poundstone controversy.
At least what we could find. Yeah.
I know, just not at all. It's just nothing out there.
It's crazy.
Ridiculous.
But Carl will be on tomorrow. If you want to become a member, you can get it early and have it for your weekend. Because I'm actually excited to do that one. I didn't know a ton about Weird Al. And now I do, obviously. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm not going to have time to really do a lot of research. I got to do the creep off before your show tomorrow. So I'm just going to come in and see what you got. Yeah, I figured. You run a pro show over there. It's, when I come on, I like to bring some things. And I'm a big Weird Al fan going back to early days. So I should have something to say, I would think.
I hope so.
I would hope so too.
Bullied your way onto the episode.
I know. It'd be pretty embarrassing. I'm just like, I don't know. You put on an album? Oh, okay, cool.
Well, this is Weird Al? Sorry, I don't even really like it.
Yeah. Oh, this song sucks. I didn't realize. The other thing I want to tell you is we were talking about John Sarasani last week because John was shouting out to Michigan State and he was going to bring his son there.
Yeah.
And if you remember, it was an offensive lineman from Michigan State reached out to John. They're like, we're all big fans of yours and we see that your kid's looking at colleges right now. You should come to Michigan State and check it out. And we were debating whether or not his son is a football player.
Yeah.
Because John goes, look, I don't know if my son's ready for Michigan State. He's Gen Pop. You guys are not Gen Pop. He was calling his son out.
Yeah.
Thanks to our Discord channel. If you go to whoarethese.com, there's a link to our Discord server and there's a channel for Who Are These socials in there. They were doing the research and discovered that John's son is 5'8", 155 pounds as a senior.
I knew it. I did not think
back.
When you said it, it dawned on me. I was like, oh, he did play at Notre Dame and was kind of a prospect. So when you said it, I was like, oh, I guess that makes sense. But based on the way he talked, I didn't think at all he was going to play football, which is why it struck me as so odd that he was shopping his kid to the highest bidder of D1 schools.
Well, I think that he felt weird about talking to D1 schools because if you have a defensive back who's 5'8", I don't think that that's going to be a starter.
Oh, so he is a player.
He does play football.
Okay, yeah.
He's a small guy.
That's why would you want to go to Michigan State if you're
right? I think that's what he was saying.
Yeah.
I don't know why he even posted that video, but he did say that he was going to bring his son to Michigan State to take a look.
He certainly did. But I think that's a lot of the kid might not have even gone. John might have gone to go to the fucking keg parties with these guys.
Oh yeah, sign autographs, get photos taken and shit. Yeah, that'd be my guess.
Yeah.
Speaking of our Discord server, they put in a lot of great stuff in there. A lot of things that I use for the show. And we are a show about social media. We have to report on the news and the happenings that are going on. And People Magazine picked up on this one. The headline reads, parenting influencer's 22-month-old son tragically dies after unsecured mirror falls on him.
Jesus.
Now, can you be a parenting influencer if your 22-month-old son dies in your house?
A bad influence.
Lindsay Dewey opened up to her 54,000 Instagram followers about the unfortunate household circumstances that led to her child's death.
Good Lord.
It just sounds, I mean, it's tragic, but you understand the irony.
Yeah. And that'll teach no one, by the way, to maybe not make your entire life putting your children online. People will be like, that sucks for her, and then keep doing it.
According to Dewey's Instagram stories summarizing the fatal incident, the toddler was playing with a suction cup bowl by sticking it onto a mirror and pulling it back and forth. Eventually, the motion bread is a fun game. Eventually, the motion brought the fragile surface down and the mirror fell on top of Reed at their home in Idaho. As she mentioned in her upload, Dewey didn't know he was using the bowl as a toy since he had seen You last seen him playing with the magnetic tiles. The mom of 3 was just 10 feet away when her son at the time, cooking dinner in the another room. She was only alerted to his proximity to the mirror when she heard it fall down.
Good Lord.
That's kind of neglecting the 2-year-old, right?
I suppose, but
I don't know. Tragedies happen, mistakes.
Yeah, you let kids run around. You're not thinking, oh, the mirror's probably going to fall on them and they'll die. You know,
right? And there is a little bit of Darwinism in there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want. I mean, it's probably too soon to talk about that now.
Carl's saying the kid wasn't fit to.
Maybe you want to wait a month or two before you start introducing that concept. I understand the parents are still grieving.
This is a lovely subject to start on. What are
so, Mike, you know any kids who died?
Let's go a little younger.
There's a local band in town that has a song called Baby Hearse. That's one of my favorite songs. I drive a baby hearse. I drive a baby hearse. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I want to get into one of our favorite segments on the show, and that is Guess the Sound.
Nice.
Carl say, Mike, hey, guess the sound. Is it girls farting or cute bunny rabbits snoring?
This one comes in from Casey Day.
I know him.
Yes, you do. He's been on this program a few times. And Casey Day says, Mike, guess the sound.
All right, Casey.
Stay woke. You go for a girl's trip. He tell you go ahead. He chilling. Ain't no pressure. He trust you. He trusts you so much now you start trusting him. Girl, fuck that man. I ain't going. Y'all go ahead. I'm gonna sit right over here with.
What if we just find out Casey's a racist and he's like, you even understand this? Like, what
yeah, it's like guess the sound. Guess what he's saying.
What is this? Gibber jabber.
Yeah, it's ebonics was the answer.
With him for the weekend. He think he got me. He think he slick. He got me fucked up. That shit crazy, ain't it? That shit crazy. That shit crazy. I ain't finna start over, because I'm finna get the fuck up off here. Who put granddaddy through the YN training, baby? I am the YN. I just said it for you, my logged on, baby. I'm old enough to date the daughter and the mama. And I'm gonna take them back, both down through that motherfucking dish, that goddamn, the drainage for that garbage disposal in that little itty bitty ass sink. Yeah. Some of y'all brand new.
All right, Mike, what do you think? Guess the sound.
That is what it was?
That's it. That is the round.
Not really in the
spirit
today. Of guess the sound.
Well, I don't know. What do you think? What do you think we just heard? If you had, if you were able to get your peepers out and take a look.
I'm an upstanding gentleman giving dating advice.
This is a white man. This is an old gray white man sitting in his car.
Get out of town.
That is the whitest of white men you'll ever see there.
What the hell?
I know.
I thought, boy, Casey really doesn't get what Guess the Sound is. Wow, what a twist.
Yes, I know. Isn't that incredible?
Even after making fun of it, I didn't see that coming. That's amazing.
No, you did not. And I didn't help at all. So
incredible.
Well, there you go. Another L, although you were on a streak there for a minute. I think you're about 500 at this point.
That was a tough one. Casey knows me. He knows how to stump me. He
does.
knows my woke agenda won't allow me to.
Right. He's on to you.
Yes.
You know, that's on Twitter. And while we're on Twitter, this is also from Casey Day. He introduced this woman when you weren't on the show, and he sent in some clips to check out. Okay. This is that teacher who retired from being a teacher because now she's a social media influencer or whatever.
Oh,
but
yes.
What she does is she talks to adults like you would talk to a child if you were the biggest asshole in the world. Like no one would ever talk to anyone like this. And she thinks that this is funny.
Cause applesauce spoons and bowl. Notice my face. I am so sad, friends.
Yeah, this is called gentle parenting is what she calls this when she talks to other human beings in this manner.
If you did
Thumbs up
one
or-
1,000th of this to me, like if my girlfriend did this, or like a millionth of a version of this, it would infuriate me.
Well, I'd never get a boner again.
Right.
That's for damn sure. It's over.
So sad, friends. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Is Signal a secure, encrypted military communication system? Yes or no? No. Are we supposed to use any group chat to coordinate airstrikes?
Oh,
No.
God.
That was a super sad choice.
That's the exact reaction I was hoping for when you found out what this was about.
God damn.
Fuck, really? We're doing this right now? Come on.
You could have used your walking feet and sat in a room together and used your words to commit acts of war. I don't care what you did at Fox and Friends, Peter. Catch a bubble. I was gone for 1 day, and Mr. Jeffrey said that while I was gone, you were being mean to Europe? Mr. Jeffrey knows because you added him to the group chat, friend. Yes. I know you get super duper excited talking about bombs. I saw the emojis. But even when Donald is playing golf and you get to play President, JD, you have to calm your body down before talking about national security. Got it? Okay. In front of you, you have some paper. We are going to write I'm sorry notes to our European allies. No, you all are going to write notes because you all were in
So
the
what
group
is
chat.
this? Because if my guy Richard Ojeda was doing this,
Right.
I would understand his point. He's actually talking down to Trump and he's talking down to Republicans. Like that would be the goal of that video, is to make a mockery of the presidency.
Right.
Her, I don't understand, because she's kind of suggesting that everything she does is bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like
But
by
I think-
making this video, it just implodes her entire way of being.
I didn't think of it that way. I thought of it as she's treating this Republican administration like they're children.
Oh, that is what she's trying to do. But my point
Right.
is, she would do that with everything. So she's making this video kind of being like, you see how stupid Donald Trump is? But it's like, no, you would suggest to actually talk this way to people.
Yeah.
Therefore, the video makes no sense.
Yeah, you know what? She's probably gotten too swept up in her own shtick at this point to realize what
Right.
she's even conveying.
She's like, could you imagine having to talk to the president like this? But it's like, that's what you think we should do, right? With every other video.
Right. Yeah. This gentle nagging is what's supposed to correct this awful behavior, when
Yeah.
really it would just lead to homicide.
Oh my God.
Talking to someone like this would not correct behavior. It would only end lives.
Or turn people on, as we've watched. You know, there are people that wear diapers and shit like that. So
All right, let's not talk about Aaron Imhold on every show. We don't need to talk about cucks.
that's fair.
There's other things to do. For example, we can check out some super chats.
Yay, super chats.
And of course, I'm including supertip.gg/WATP. This one came in before the show even started. From Rob Saul, $3. It just says Rob Saul.
Well, thank you, Rob Saul.
Rob Saul, you could have used your voice on this one. We have a Rob Saul voice now on the
yeah.
board. But, here's one of our favorites from Ricky Bev.
Carl! Guess who? Where are we with the goal, Carl? Make Mike put a puzzle together until we reach the goal. Abuse your handicapped co-host. It works for Aaron. Why not you? Get the puzzle, Carl.
That's a great idea. You ever do a 500-piece puzzle before? Or
Well,
I should say in the last year and a half.
I understood. I listened to you guys talk about that yesterday, and I know I was the natural comparison. But at least with me, you're watching something. Like when I played spike ball or ping pong against Portland,
Right. Yes.
you're watching something. Johnny standing is just humiliating for all of us. There's no action. It's just like, oh, this man is getting weaker by the second.
He looked very uncomfortable. But then when Aaron started doing jumping jacks, you were back on board though, right? That
Well,
was pretty
sure. That
sweet.
was equal opportunity.
Could you imagine if Dave Portnoy is playing ping pong with you? He's just like, all right, I'm going to need people to give us $3 more or else we're ending this game right now.
And just spotting dimes just to prove it's a completely
Yeah,
different
right.
activity. Like he's doing jumping jacks next to him.
It's fantastic. Chef Lewis says, are we discussing this magic stream?
I mean, the Magic just ended the season with the best record in the history of basketball, so I'm not going to question them right now. I'm just excited to see what they do on Monday, you know? I do know that Kevin Highland is running that team and Chris Clemmer's a puppet, but we'll get into that more on Monday.
All right. That's enough Magic talk for this episode. Turd Burglar, $5 says, finally able to watch my favorite gay couple live again. Who are you watching? The new work shift has made it hard. Jingle, please. Lady K. Oh, Turd Burglar thinks we're still doing jingles on here. He's so far gone.
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
It's happening.
Thanks for the super chat, Turd Burglar. John can always tell ramen shoolies are not sleeping when he walks into a room with his smell.
You're calling that AI. Doug produced all of that, played all the instruments. How dare you?
So that's Doug's voice, I'm sure.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Tom Prestigard, $10 says, anything but Opie. Love the coverage of him, but can't stand his lack of comedy and angle of being a victim. Well,
bad news for you.
Yeah, we got some Opie coming up.
Not
today.
too much though.
No, and it's worth it. It's worth it. Raper Butt, $5 says, if it was a mirror, shouldn't the baby have seen it coming? See, now
maybe he was good. Maybe he was going to be the next blind Mike.
We need to outsource some of this stuff because Raper Butt found the obvious joke right there. Thank you very much. Dixon Cider became a new member, and then Dixon Cider did something that's absolutely incredible. Gifted 5 memberships. Thank you very much for doing that. If you did receive a membership, you get 2 bonus episodes every single month, including the recent one I did with Mike Geary.
Yes.
Which was Julia Fox's book.
Yeah, Julia Fox, who's gone silent on social media for some time. So I'm glad we have that book to go through.
Yeah, that book is fascinating. I'm looking forward to our next episode. Turd Burglar, $5 says, wait, no more jingles. I'll stop watching then. My bad. Yeah, stop watching. You should feel very bad about yourself for giving us money.
Shameful.
Very shameful. Anonymous coming in at supertip.gg/WATP. Says, any woman who uses super duper and got it in a sentence while trying to sound smart should be made infertile.
It's just an exhausting way to be.
But you're right, though. She is also trying to sound smart when she's talking about, oh, is that a secure communication system that you're using with Signal? It's like, do you even know what the fuck you're talking about? Do you know what encryption is?
Right. No matter how many emojis you use, it's like,
I know. Way to keep up with the news there, dummy. Okay, so we're still on Twitter, even though I did not hit our Twitter jingle yet, which I know. My OCD is crushing me right now. Look at this tweet now. This one comes in from Trucker Andy. Ooh. He calls this the most cringe boom of all time. Now, that's saying something.
That's quite a bar.
Let's see what he's talking about here.
Oh, we're so sorry to hear about your brother that passed away. He gets 5 big booms. Boom! 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 Boom!
Hey, lady, sorry your kid got crushed by a mirror.
That deserves at least 2 boobs. It was almost 2 years old. See, now I understand why Casey Kasem was upset. We had to go from that upbeat number to the goddamn death dedication.
Absolutely, yeah.
This doesn't work. You can't.
Do you think off camera that's what AJ or whatever the fuck his name is doing?
Oh yeah,
I can't go into a boom number.
We're gonna give 5 booms for a goddamn brother dying? This is ridiculous. There should be a 21 boom salute, if you ask me. So, speaking of the crossover, guys, we got a note from Christian Blatt. I guess Cardiff posted this as well. But there's concern about some stolen valor. This is a crossover post with the Costco guys and My Foreign Roommate. My Foreign Roommate has like 780,000 followers on TikTok, so it's another big influencer.
Okay. And
they're talking about, do you know what Feastables are?
I could guess, but no, I don't.
Go ahead and guess. You might get it. Talking about influencers.
Like some kind of like appetizer brand or something?
Well, yes. So it's a snack brand made by Mr. Beast. feastables.
Boy, that guy's got his fingers in a lot of pies.
Oh yeah, he's killing it right now.
Jesus.
So this is the Costco guy standing with this chick who's an attractive influencer girl, and they're in front of a vending machine that has nothing but feastables in it.
Okay.
So enjoy.
We do. We bring the boom. We bring the boom to you.
Okay, bring the boom to you. Okay. Yeah. Hi, it's Aisha, and I'm really excited because there's a big boom vending machine.
Oh.
And
boom.
Big boom.
Boom.
Boom. Okay, can I please?
Can you speak in other words?
No, that's the only way he communicates. In fact, he says boom 28 different ways to communicate different ideas.
He's like a Groot.
Right.
Jesus.
It reminds me of that really old Rob Schneider bit about the word dude. If you remember that.
Okay.
Anyway, so they're standing in front of a vending machine that I hope is not real because it says Big Boom Feastables.
Nice.
And it shows AJ and Big Boom. There's the photo of them. There's flexing muscles on the front, and it's just full of their specific feastable.
Okay.
Let's try one of them.
Anything you like, of course.
Oh, okay. Can I please try?
AJ's so awkward.
Peanut butter crunch.
Peanut butter crunch feastable, right?
Yes.
Mr. B said this.
Okay.
Right? You want to try the peanut butter crunch?
Yes.
All right, look, so right there, there's peanut butter crunch right there.
Okay.
Go ahead, try that one.
Press it. Peanut butter.
And boom!
I think
Jesus Christ.
Down there.
Doesn't he want to kill himself?
okay, the peanut butter.
He must.
I'm going to try.
Try, of course.
Okay. Oh, it's really good.
How many booms does it get?
Oh,
I like 15. Could me this number?
5.
she goes, I don't like 15. And he goes, let's do 5. 15's a lot.
Anything you like, of course.
Oh, okay. Can I please try the?
Oh, I went back way too far. My bad.
Well, down there.
Okay, the peanut butter. I'm going to try.
Try, of course.
Okay.
Gloria Baldwin.
Oh, it's really good.
How many booms does it get?
I like 15. Could me this number?
Whoa.
5.
Okay, 5.
5 big booms.
5 big
Let's not get crazy.
Okay.
Boom! 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 Boom!
Okay.
I'm only a man. I'm not going to give out 15
Enjoy
boom.
it. Hopefully that I don't eat all of them in the vending machine. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Bring the boom.
Jesus, he's gonna get one more boom in there before it ends. Yeah, I love these. Like, man, I'm getting paid scale. We're not doing 15 booms. I do that shit on my show.
I would imagine even like Joey Lawrence looks at this guy like, poor bastard. He's stuck in a prison.
That would be an interesting conversation a few years from now, because I know Joey Lawrence stopped saying "whoa."
Yeah, he moved on to other things.
Well, kind of. And I'm pretty sure. I think he's back to doing that again, a cameo. But
Sure.
oh fuck, do they have a cameo? Oh, they have to. The Costco guys.
Oh, they must.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many times a day do they say boom?
Oh, so I wanted to, before I forget again, I wanted to ask when I heard their name, and maybe the vending machine might have answered my question, but have they had staying power? Are they as big as they were? Are they starting to dip off a little bit?
No, you're asking the wrong guy.
Okay.
But I agree with you based on this vending machine and cross-pollination of this product with Mr. Beast, the biggest YouTuber of all time.
Yeah.
Seems like they have staying power somehow.
That's insane to me because you'd think like things are so fleeting now.
Yeah.
You'd think we as a society are over the boom guy and his dumb kid.
And then he does the AEW, and it's so annoying too because he's doing this just to get famous. He like tried a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
And then he's doing the AEW, and I thought he was just going to do that one match on Thanksgiving, but apparently he's got other matches and he's wrestling people now.
Well, that's what he wanted to do originally, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. So
and he's terrible at it.
Daddy's time to shine.
I saw some of his match. It's not great.
That's too bad.
All right, let's
many
head over
booms would you give
to. I'd give it I'd give it a boo. A half a boo. Thank you. All right, let's head over to YouTube real quick.
I'll stop the show and watch YouTube.
This is from Bugle Me This. This is a fun little video. Guy's got a GoPro on. He's riding his e-bike down a trail, and then he gets to a bridge. Cool. It's a narrow bridge, but it's a bridge in America.
But bridge all the same.
Yeah. Let's see what happens here.
No. There are no vehicles on this trail. Do you see me? You're gonna hit me. There are kids here. What the fuck are you doing?
I'm the only person on this road.
Yeah, no, you could, but there's no bikes on this fucking thing. What are you doing?
I ride here every day. It's an e-bike.
No,
it's fine.
I can't even get
Are you gonna
past
let me pass?
You're gonna hurt me.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
This is too big for both of us.
I was going less than 10 miles an hour.
No, it doesn't matter. They're not supposed to be.
Ma'am, I ride this trail every day.
Hey.
There's no kids out here. Everything's fine.
I will fucking call the cops right now.
To call the cops.
Yeah.
Call the police.
I will.
All right.
No.
Am I free to leave?
No.
Am I free to leave?
No. Stay right there. Stay right there.
So the best part about the end, she's holding on to a plastic bag with food, and it was like she just grabbed some takeout. And she's got her phone in one hand and the bag in the other hand. She's calling the police. He grabs the food and rides off with it, which is fantastic.
He's like a hero.
Yeah. He's like, call the police. All right, do you want me to commit a crime? I will. I'll rob you if that's what you need. We'll make this legit when you call the cops.
I love this guy. He's like a vigilante.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. This woman too, she's like, you're gonna hurt me. She was standing at the end of the bridge that he was trying to go down with all of her arms out, like she was trying to scare a bear or something, like getting as big as possible.
Maybe you can clarify for me, but I'm imagining if it's too dangerous for two people to go down the bridge, it's probably too dangerous for one person to go down, right?
It's not dangerous. It's not dangerous at
like
all.
if you and I were gonna be on a bridge together, and you're like, I don't know if we can both do it. I'd be like, well, maybe let's not cross this bridge, huh?
Well, if we were both going the same direction, maybe we could pull it off. But if we were going different directions, I don't know. Someone could get seriously injured on that.
Jesus.
So that's a fun one. I want to head over now to Instagram. We're bouncing around quick today.
Blinded like Blind Mike. Don't be a douche. Instagram in the night. Blinded like Blind Mike. Check out these reels. They might make you wanna fight.
This came over from my buddy Mike, who I bring him up. No, different friend Mike. I bring him up a lot on WTP because he always sends me over Howard Stern stuff. He sends over different things that are interesting that we talk about. But Angel Reese, you familiar?
I am.
Angel
She's
Reese
everything.
She's a WNBA player. She's a
great.
podcaster.
Yeah.
She thinks very highly of herself. She doesn't like Caitlin Clark. And she doesn't like that everyone thinks that Caitlin Clark is the reason why the WNBA was successful that one year, one time.
No, she's definitely not the reason.
Well, this is fantastic because Angel's got some things to say about what her legacy is and should be.
Okay.
And that's followed up with some highlight footage.
Yeah, and I know I'll go down in history. I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
Angel Reese running layups. Let's get it. Bang! Running down the lane. I feel alive because it's 2025. Give it to number 5. Bang! I have a New Year's resolution for our brick Barbie. Make your layups. Make them great again. Bang! Angel Reese.
So in case you're not understanding this, she's missing the easiest layups that are uncontested underneath the basket.
Oh, gee.
It's just showing how terrible women's basketball is.
Maybe we should lower that hoop.
Oh, this is great.
Makes this layup. TikTok won't be banned. It won't. No! Stat patter! Stat patter! Baz, my rookie of the year. Nobody gathers double-doubles better than her. Double-doubles better than championships. Bang! No 2K's gonna have a field day with her layup animation package. Drop off. What the fuck? Professional athlete, by the way. Professional athlete. That's disgusting. I still can't tell after all these videos if she's right-handed or left. Both look equally horrendous to watch. I'm loving it.
All right. So a little obnoxious with the announcing, but I just love the idea of splicing in Angel Reese explaining why she's an amazing athlete and basketball player and why everyone's watching women's basketball.
I guess I will say this for Angel Reese is like without her, she's like the villain or the hero, depending upon what side you're on.
That's
like
true.
without her, at least it's a rivalry with her. You know what I mean? But
Yep.
it is like the two best pickleballers arguing with each. It's like
Right. It's
still-
not.
we
It's
still
not
don't really give a
Ewing.
shit.
It's not Ewing versus Jordan. That
Yeah,
we're
we don't
talking
really
about
care
here.
that,
Yeah,
right?
That's a good point. I love to see someone getting paid to play basketball, complaining about how much they get paid to play basketball, who's about as good as I am. It's always fun to see.
Can we set up you versus Angel Reese one?
Yes, let's please do that. I'd rather do that than box Aaron Imholt. I think that'd be a more fun challenge.
Sure.
For me. We're flying through the show today. We had a really long show last week. I promised Mike we wouldn't do that this week.
We're gonna balance it out.
We're gonna balance it out.
We
But
have a minute quota we have to get under.
yeah, we're trying to get a good average going.
Yeah.
But we will slow down for you fine folks who are supporting the show.
Yay, super chats.
And Anonymous comes in to answer my issue with that earlier super tip from Rob Saul.
Rob Saul.
Oh, you cut it off at 4 booms. How is that guy going to mourn properly?
That is true. I did fuck that up, but thank you for Rob Saul saying Rob Saul.
Yes.
Anonymous $5 is interesting how bike riders consider their bikes as vehicles when slowing down traffic, but not when they're going down trails. Yeah, I ride my bike around in the city a lot. I totally agree with you. I try to get out of the way of every car. Very rarely am I in front of a car that's slowing them down because I drive more than I ride, and I get it. It's annoying.
Do you have the biker's uniform? You know, like the yellow shirt and the tight
Mike,
shorts?
You'll be shocked to hear that I wear a ball cap and sneakers with just my regular shorts and a t-shirt.
You're not doing it right.
I know.
No helmet?
No helmet. I don't commit to the bike rider thing.
Oh, good. Maybe I'll be hosting this solo one day.
You know, my doctor says the same thing. You should really be wearing a helmet. I'm sorry, but when you fall off a bicycle, your elbow is what's going to get scuffed up. Anyway, I don't want to get into this debate right now. I'm going to want to angry emails from people. Can't even get into that. I'd rather decide who I like between Palestine and Israel than talk about bike helmets.
Carl's a real menace in the neighborhood. No helmets!
Section 8 smoke detector says, chirp.
Nice.
So that's a new fun bit that's going on. Turd Burglar is back with another $5 says, oh, my bad. Just no listener jingles anymore. You guys are getting too big for your britches. Just remember where you came from, like Jenny from the block.
Yeah, it's just you guys we don't respect, not the rest.
Right. Oh, yeah. No, the show is still doing what it does.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't changing. Rocco Orby 2002 $5 says Feastables is what Mr. Beast trans buddy was calling children.
Well, I don't know enough about that story, but I think I can get the gist.
I'm gonna take that off the screen right now. Let's pretend that didn't happen.
We don't want any part of Mr. Beast.
No, I think his team of attorneys is more powerful than mine. Prairie Judge, remember for 3 months, says Casey Day makes me super chat him when Mike's not around. He made a new logo. He calls it Our Little Secret.
He sends him pictures.
Is that true?
I don't know.
I believe it. All right. I want to head over to TikTok. We got some things to discuss over there.
TikTok's a psyop by the Chinese to fuck up the minds of our youth and some other people too. So let's talk quite a lot about these TikTokers we stalk and know. Oh, TikTok fucking blows.
Dustin Burford sent in a note to me at WATPshow@gmail.com. And he said, a big fan of WATP and Blind Mike.
Oh, thank you.
You have to check out this James Capola guy. He's the fitness influencer version of Woke Dad.
Ooh, like the sound of that.
Yeah, I did too. So I looked into that. He sent me a couple of links. I looked into some other things too. Here is him responding to someone who's making fun of him in the comments section.
Oh, no.
Always a good start.
Red pill better. Also, you're balding. Hey, genius. If you're going to insult me, use proper grammar. Second, You're too dumb to realize that when you make fun of physical attributes like balding, the bottom of the barrel of insults, you're either telling me that you're really young or really dumb. Keep mastertating to your red pill role models.
Mastertating?
Hopefully one of them is an English teacher.
Is mastertating a joke I didn't get?
It's a joke I didn't get either.
Okay.
But,
This feels a little more like John
Saturday.
Sarasani than Woke Dad.
All right, well, let me play you another version. That was just a quick 30-second slap back to a commenter.
Okay.
This is him from just 22 hours ago. This is what he posted on TikTok.
I don't think I'm doing too great.
Oh, no.
Which is strange, because on paper, everything is fantastic. I mean, Mochi, our puppy, is sick, but we're on top of that. I just got back from the vet. Arya is doing better than ever. Business is great. Social media is great. But something is off, and I can't figure out what, but I'll tell you how I know.
Comment, Mike?
It'd be great if he was like, but the art studio has been taking up so much of my time.
Yeah. I'm just not as good at ceramics as I thought I was going to be. It's really the main problem.
For the first time in 4 years, I had the urge to binge last night. And it came back like PTSD. I couldn't believe it.
Oh, no.
There was a pit in my stomach and chest going, you have to fill this void now. And then it was just this battle between the devil and the angel on my shoulder. All of a sudden, all these rationalizing thoughts came through my brain. You walked over 15,000 steps today. You're good. You've never done this in over 4 years. Just do it. Enjoy.
Now, I've been down in the dumps before.
Right. Trying to rationalize your behavior from time to time, I would imagine.
The amount of steps I've taken has never factored into the equation.
No.
Mike.
It's so heavily edited, too. You'll notice every sentence, it jumps to another clip.
There's a lot of that, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not like Woke Dad, who can actually get out a 90-second thought one time.
You got to credit to Daniel. He's a much more powerful speaker than this guy. As is John Sarasani, I would say.
Right. Yeah, they actually know what they're going to say, and then they execute on what they want to say. So he puts that out. This keeps going on. I'm not even a third of the way through, so I'm going to pause it there. You get the gist. He wanted to eat a bunch of food.
Can I say something, too? I want to be open. You know, I'm a mental health advocate and everything. You should seek help if you need it. If number one on the list is 15,000 steps, maybe, you're on the right track.
Yeah, maybe you're fine. Maybe you're fine. But he had a thing where he wanted to eat a bunch of food, and he's not that guy anymore. So that was rough, and he had to go on TikTok and let everyone know that he's not doing well. Well, I have good news, because just today, he put out a new video.
Oh, thank God.
I don't think I'm doing too great.
Oh, no.
Which is strange, because... Hey, I just wanted to follow up with that vulnerable post I made yesterday.
So he's so proud of it. He had to splice to the beginning of that again on today's video and explain why he's doing better now.
I thought he had gotten worse. So
no,
what a relief.
I know there were thousands of fans who were like, no, come on, James, say it ain't so.
I like it, a little suicide misdirect. That's fun.
That is fun. Yeah, right.
Just doing that made me feel so much better. And the amount of love and support that I got.
So now he went to the green screen view of him where he's scrolling through dozens, if not hundreds of comments with all the heart emojis and all the shit. So this is just a guy who was looking for validation, who was thirsty for attention, and went on and went, guys, I'm having a tough go at it. I know I shouldn't be, but I'm really down in the dumps. And then, oh, don't be James. You're great. You're killing it. We love you. Okay, I'm doing better now.
This is what Chris D'Elia allegedly did to his victims, where they'd be like,
oh, yeah.
Chris, I don't know if I really want to keep fucking you. You have a wife and everything. And he'd be like, all right, but if you don't, I'm going to kill myself. And they'd go, all right, fine.
Yeah. Now that I don't get to fuck your vagina anymore, I'm really down in the dumps. Really having a bad day.
It's not an achieve. I think any of us, if you put up post online, like, I'm near the brink, guys. I think I'm looking at this bottle of pills and
Yep.
it's looking pretty good. And then the next day you were like, I'm not going to do it. People would be like, nice, good for you.
Cool. Yeah, nice. Glad to hear that.
Congratulations.
Why did you ever post that one from yesterday? That's what
We
I'm
were
still-
all worried about you a
Still
minute
wondering
ago.
why you posted that. This is the sickness that is social media.
Yeah.
I was proud of us when I said that. I went back and listened to our first episode ever. I was proud of us. We started the show by saying we both hate social media and think it should be banned.
Yes.
we think it's nothing but a horrible blight on society. And this is a perfect example of that.
And this is a guy, unless he's like extremely bipolar, where he has severe, one day to the next is severely different.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a guy who's really depressed. This is a guy who wanted comments on his Instagram.
Right, because the worst thing that could have happened was he would have eaten more protein bars than he normally does.
Right.
I'm not even joking. I listened to the whole thing, but he's like, so I opened up the cupboards and I have all these protein bars and popcorn. I'm like, okay, well, it would have been fine.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that what he meant by binging?
Yes. That's why the 15,000 steps.
What an asshole.
I told you that he's a fitness influencer.
Yeah, but I thought.
Okay, I hear you. I hear you. Yep. No, I get it.
Son of a bitch.
Yep. I know it's really not that big a deal. And he needed the attention that bad.
I eat like shit every day. You don't see me whining about it.
I high-fived you last time I saw you.
I can't begin to tell you how much I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. Last year, our lives got turned upside down when Erica went into preterm labor at 27 weeks.
Okay, so now it's more woe is me and trauma that he's gone through. The kid was born premature.
But if you want to be motivational, shouldn't you talk about this stuff in sort of you shouldn't be going like, she went into labor prematurely. You should be speaking about it in like a positive light. Like, hey, God threw us a curveball, but we managed to work through it. And it looks like our kid's going to be all right. God willing. You know what I mean? Like, put a positive spin on it. Otherwise, it's not motivational.
I never lost faith. I knew we'd pull through because this is our mindset.
Yes.
Try to get people thinking like that. But no, it's yesterday I almost ate a bunch of snacks and now I'm thinking about how our kid almost didn't pull through.
Well, one of my favorite Larry David quotes from Curb Your Enthusiasm when Richard Lewis is bitching about something. He goes, well, then let's all get under the covers and sob. Like, let's all just give up.
Right. Yeah, right, exactly.
Scariest moment of my life. Scariest moment of her life. And we rushed to the hospital, stayed there for over a week, and Erica gave birth to our beautiful baby girl, Aria, on July 2nd. We didn't get to have the typical, here's your baby, you can hold your baby now event. She had to go straight to incubation. I saw her for a split second and she squeezed my finger. I couldn't really process what was happening or what was going to happen. I had no control. I couldn't do anything. So I started going into panic mode, going, okay, we can work, we can bring in a lot of income, we can make sure that she's set, I can do that.
Keep it away from mirrors. That's another thing you should be doing.
Selfishly, I was like, all right, but I mean, like, are we going to drive here every day to the NICU, which was like an hour and a half away?
Oh, well, yeah, fuck that noise. Let me know in a week how she's doing. You don't got to keep texting me updates either, all right? I'm busy
back
over
and
here.
forth.
I'm doing TikTok videos. I don't have the time for this.
Because, like, we need to work and this and that, and it didn't click that we went through one of the most traumatic experiences of our life. And I remember my mother-in-law, my mom, and my wife looking at me like, yes, we're going to come here every day. What are you talking about?
By the way, meanwhile, the doctor's like, yeah, you don't have to come here every day. We'll communicate with you through the portal. And
it's also like this guy's like, Mom, do I have to?
Yeah, do I have to go visit our kid who's going to die every single day? Like, no, I guess not.
I have work to do. I have Instagram to talk to. I have steps to take. And a lot of them.
And it wasn't me not wanting to do that.
You can take your steps to the hospital. Oh, now he's got a photo of his preemie baby up behind him. Oh boy.
Good.
I just didn't want to see her like this. I didn't know how to process it, so
Why are you showing up?
pushed it aside and focused on work. I pushed a lot of things aside. If you haven't noticed, I did about 10 posts a day for a long time. So now she's home safe with me.
Very brave of you.
Along with her superhero of a mother and grandparents. And I could finally breathe, but I could also finally feel everything at once. And it's very, very overwhelming. It's hard to love this much. It's hard to feel this much.
Jesus.
It's hard when you don't have control.
Grow a fucking pair. What is wrong with this guy? Why is he putting this on TikTok? Now, first off, if he's thinking these thoughts, that's one thing. If he's saying them out loud, that's another thing. If he's saying them into a camera and then posting it on TikTok, highly edited.
I like the idea of the kid finding this video in like 15 years and being like, did you not want to come see me in the hospital?
Dad, did you think I wasn't going to make it? Or what was that all about? And then I got home and you wanted to binge eat? What? Like that's... Sorry, I ruined your fucking month. Sorry, Dad.
And by the way, like if he ever finds this episode or like someone sends it to him, whatever, and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe these guys are making fun of this. You put it out there to be made fun of. This is the consequence. This is what happens.
Well, right, and he puts things out there.
Do this.
Right, he wants the love and support of his community.
Right.
He loves that.
But if people find it douchey, that's wrong.
Well, yeah, because he responds to negative comments and does videos for that.
Right.
He also does this thing. I was watching a bunch of his stuff. I might look into it more, but he also does this thing where people go on and they talk about like gaining weight's okay and being a little overweight is okay. And other fitness gurus and influencers will be like, no, you got to get into shape. You got to eat right. And he goes, that's not true. Eat whatever you want. It's all about happiness. You're like, wait, what do you mean?
Yeah, not whatever you want. You'll be unhappy.
Yeah, correct. Yes.
Like I said, while everything was doing great on paper, business, social media, our life, etc., I have some underlying shit that I need to deal with that I pushed away for over 6 months. But I promise you one thing. We're going to be more than okay. Like I said, while
Okay, great. Very happy for you.
Thank God.
Thank God. Thank goodness for that.
I was worried they weren't going to be okay.
We're all worried over here at WATS, so that's very good news.
I assume everyone that's posting on Instagram for the immediate future is going to be okay.
Right.
Like, I assume if you're posting on Instagram, it's not like, well, guys, I'm dying in 3, 2.
Yeah, right. You're not like in the ICU going, Doc, where's my phone? Hand me my phone, please.
Just let me spend my last few moments on Instagram.
Yeah. They're like, all right, we're going to put you under now for the surgery. Whoa.
What will my followers think?
Yes, come on. Give me my phone first before we do that. All right. We got to check out an update from our girl.
I fucked your mom. You're done. You're done. Uppercut, chicken and crackers. Want it up? I'm going to need you to put the ranch down.
Baylen Dupre, of course. We broke the news here. You heard it here first. Season 2, Baylen Out Loud, is happening. She's been picked up for a second season. She's very excited.
Yeah.
I kind of imagine this like, I don't know if life-changing is the right word, but there's some serious money coming in.
I would imagine so. Yeah. I mean, I guess TV's probably not the same as it was as far as lucrative contracts, but I'd imagine they're paying, like if Alec Baldwin's doing it on the same network, I imagine it's decent money. But
right.
This was disappointing because we had all kinds of t-shirt ideas for Baylen and everything. And her business sense to me is not on what it should be here.
Okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Hi, everybody. I want to talk about how there's a trend going around saying, after watching Baylen Out Loud, they're going around mimicking all of my tics.
That's right. Wind it up. Put the ranch down. Let's go. Let's go. Tippity tap that
rotisserie chicken.
Yeah, let's do it. Joe Biden was doing cocaine in the Civil War. Woo!
Fuck your mom.
All right. So I'm sure she's super excited about this, right? Mm-hmm. Everyone's like adopting her tics and they're all celebrating her. That's fucking cool.
It's not like they made a sizzle reel of it for TLC.
Yeah, it's not like the graphic for the show is her doing her tics or anything like that. And I want to point out right now, if all of a sudden everyone was yelling, just do it across this nation, I would feel honored.
They all got their Nike shirts on.
Suck a fat cock, bitch. God damn!
God damn!
I wanted to say I love all of you, and
Aw.
thank you for the support
You're welcome.
and everything in between those lines. However, it is extremely uncomfortable and can even set my own tics off even more.
Hold on a second. Didn't she start this by saying that she's been told people are doing her tics now?
Yeah.
Like fans of the show?
Yeah.
So how does that bother her if she's not there? They can't set her tics off.
I could, though, just knowing that they're out there.
No, I don't think so. I don't think
They're
that's
lurking
the case.
about.
I don't think so. If we're doing Dabble House next week, DabbleCon.live.
Yeah.
And, we're going to be hanging out with the whole Shuley network and WATP crew. And I imagine that if we start doing Baylen tics off to the side and having some fun with it, it won't affect her in any way.
Well, let's see if this affects you, pal. I'll be yelling, just do it in front of my wood paneling privately at home.
That's
Try and get
fucked
that
up,
out of your
dude.
mind.
Dude, come on. That's
Well,
offensive.
I'm just saying.
That's highly offensive what you're saying.
Now
right
you get it.
Peace out, A-Town. And it's offensive to mimic someone else's tics.
And stop making them so hilarious.
Right. Also, you're spoiling our fun. Like, you get to have all the fun and we don't get to have any of it.
If Baylen's tics are real, which here and there I come closer to believing her.
Yeah, I don't know.
More and more.
I don't know.
It's tough to decide.
It's
Let's pretend they're real.
Sure. Why not?
I empathize with her. I'm sure it's very difficult. They talk about on the show how for a long time they didn't think she could do like normal things, and I pity that plight. Then you don't get to have a TV show.
Right.
Like that's the trade-off. It sucks. You don't get to exploit your disability and tell us how to react to it.
But Mike, it's worse than that. She gets to walk into a crowded place, point at a guy with no hair and yell, he's bald, he's bald, he's bald.
Right.
But if I were to that's fun. But if I were to do that, or let's say I'm at TSA and I'm yelling I have a gun like she did in that episode, I can't have a little bit of fun. She gets to have all of the fun.
Right. And if you don't want people to have fun with it, then you have to put the dramatic TLC music behind. Like when you're yelling Joe Biden's in my backyard.
Right.
You have to put the sad music behind it and be like, oh my God,
she's having another episode. Yeah. You
poor
can't show her
thing.
fiance giggling.
No,
you have
it
to
can't
be
be
like,
fun.
oh no, it's happening again.
And you
It's
can't have
terrible.
this TikTok where it's like, hey, watch me cut a sandwich or whatever the fuck she does.
Yeah, that's a good point because I know she's bringing awareness to Tourette's. That's like her whole thing or whatever. But her TikTok videos are also edited, and you could edit the wind it ups out and the tap that rotisserie chickens out and the little baby wieners, and then people wouldn't say those things. They wouldn't know about them. But
And if people are going up to her and like harassing her and being like, whoa, Tick, what are you going to do? Are you going to say the wind it up thing? Like, sure, that's annoying. That's an annoying thing all famous people have to deal with. So like, that sucks, but that's the price of having a show, having a very popular TikTok. You don't get to go, oh, like the guy, wasn't there a guy at DabbleCon that like dressed up as me or something?
yes, that was skinny fat Mike or blind Mike fat
Yeah.
Mike.
that's more that the skinny part is more offensive. To me.
Yeah, it was very offensive.
But I don't get to be
He's
like
not a skinny guy.
I don't get to be like, hey, you're carrying a cane, and that was a difficult thing for me to accept that I had to do. You know what I mean? It's like, no, it's part of the costume. You know,
someone isolate that. I want people to think that blind Mike's having a pity party.
Yes, yeah.
I wanted to point out that Tourette syndrome, I have Tourette syndrome, stupid, is not a joke.
No. The Tourette syndrome isn't a joke. It's the things you say that are obviously jokes.
Right.
Like,
And it's
jokes.
fun, and you were having fun with it, and we were all having fun with it.
Right.
This happens to people, unfortunately. I feel like it happens to women when they get famous more than men. where there's some pressure on them. There's some I don't know if it's their fault or whose fault it is. But there's some pressure on them to be more serious. It's like the Amy Schumer syndrome.
You're right.
Where like Amy Schumer got funny for like roast jokes, or got famous for roast jokes, and then all of a sudden had to be like an advocate for all women. And it's like, well, this wasn't. She was telling dick jokes. What is this?
They all fall into this thing. It's like, Roseanne Barr gets a sitcom, and then she has to tell us all how much black people stink. You're like, yeah, no, I know you got your opinions, but keep that to yourself.
Sarah Silverman, another
comedian.
And like,
oh God, Sarah
Baylen's not even
worst.
Baylen's not even a comedian. Like, we were specifically having a laugh at her funny ticks.
Right.
Like, that's the thing that she did.
And we're being scolded for it now.
Yeah.
Are they talking about us directly? I feel like maybe she is.
Maybe.
I don't even do her ticks that often, but when I do, brings the house down.
It's not something to mimic.
Could you imagine WATS Live? We're touring the nation, and for the last 30 minutes, all we're doing is Baylen ticks, and everyone's going nuts. And everyone's yelling out their favorite Baylen ticks.
Well, then you'd see us much more worried if we were selling out theaters doing.
Yeah, right.
Baylen, you can't. No, we are allowed, right?
Yeah, come on. You're in on the joke, right? Come on, don't say that. It's $80 for VIP. Come on. Oh, that was the other thing. When Paula Poundstone's $120 for the worst seat in the theater.
Yeah, that was very surprising.
Oh, I'm sorry. That just reminded me. I want to talk to you about that during banter. It just triggered me how expensive it is to see Paula Poundstone in 2025. I don't know how that's possible.
I think Louis might be cheaper.
You're right.
In some places.
It's crazy.
And it's something extremely difficult that I live with every single day. God damn!
You can't do that while you're telling us not to make fun of you. And it's in good fun. Like, it's not like people, like I said, they're not fucking harassing her.
Right. It's not malicious. This reminds me of something that Adam Carolla said that got him some heat. But he said, if AOC were a 65-year-old obese woman, no one would listen to her. No one would give a shit with what she had to say. It's like Baylen's ticks are fun because she's young and cute and it's fun. She should be fortunate that people are paying attention, because there will be a day when no one cares about her winding it up again.
Right.
And then it's going to be like, oh, that's too bad. I remember when people used to love it when I yelled wind it up.
Yeah, if fucking television networks were putting her on going, look at this freak, then I would say, all right, come on, guys, enough. But it seems like she's like, hey, the fans are saying wind it up in public. This is not a hardship she's going through.
Right, yes, correct.
And again, I appreciate all the love and all the support from Baylen Out Loud airing on TLC, and it means a lot to me to have a lot of supporters. However, I do want wind it up to put it out there that it's not okay to mimic my ticks. Thank you.
Fuck that noise.
She did the most famous one. She said, wind it up.
I ain't trying to hear that. It's not okay to mimic her ticks.
It's disappointing.
I don't like it. I don't like this this attitude that Baylen has right now.
No, she's shifting into fame now. She's becoming a real celebrity now. We're losing her.
She's making rules.
I know.
I'm not a fan of rules. I am a fan of super tips and super chats.
Yay, super chats.
King of the segue, Carl Hamburger. All right, this is coming in from Audiophile America on supertip.gg/WATP, $10.
Jesus, Lady K, I retired from the Dabbleverse, and this is what you're covering. The Costco guys, WNBA, bicycle shorts.
To be fair, Audiophile America, that's been WATS since the beginning.
Yeah, we do this horse shit every week.
Right.
You're watching the wrong show.
This is nothing new. This show has not changed at all.
One day, a fag strolled into my shop. He calmly explained he was a fox and proceeded to choke my goose like he was searching for the golden egg. Oh, I exclaimed, now a never trumper.
Okay.
How did he do that? How did he get it to be louder?
Oh, was that louder?
When he goes,
oh, that was all caps. All caps.
Oh, very smart.
Yeah, there are things you can do. Now, he tried to get an F slur in there twice. One of them worked better than the other.
Yes.
I'd recommend using a PH, but what do I know about this stuff? Thank you, Leadful, for the $5. And Whatnot Jason coming in with $5 as well.
Sometimes late at night, I pondered the mechanics involved of Knight getting his pussy pounded by his wife's dick.
Don't we all?
Sure.
Don't we all? It's
front of mind.
Matthew James says, I was in panic mode. Keeps the same monotone. I was in panic mode. Things were so terrible. Yeah, that's a guy who's not real. He's super fake and is trying to be a social media influencer.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of people following him on TikTok, so he's doing something right.
I suppose.
Section 8 Smoke Detector says, Baylen is stealing my bit. Chirp.
All right.
See what you did there? Tom Prestigard, $10 says, no comment, just money. All right. What did you say before, Tom? Were you looking for a response from us? Let's see. He says, anything but Opie. Love the coverage of him, but can't stand his lack of comedy and angle of being a victim.
Oh.
I love that about Opie.
Why are you skipping that guy?
I love that about Opie when he's, the lack of comedy is great, but also this idea that he's a victim is fantastic. And we're going to do a bonus episode of WATP coming up next week where I'm breaking down the Jim and Opie fight, the famous one with Esther Koo in studio. Yes. It was just put out there with all of the video for the first time.
So I didn't realize, someone messaged me that. I didn't realize they were shooting the show in video at that time. So I'm surprised.
I'm surprised too. And the way that the guy who worked for Sirius at the time who made this, the way he shot it, he's got a still camera on Opie, a still camera on Jim. Then there's another camera that pulls out and you can see Esther and Jim around the table. But for the most part, it's just a two for like you and me right now. Yeah. You just see Opie and Jim the whole time. And you see all the posturing and body language. And it's exciting.
I got to say, even back then, though, there's a drastic difference. Every time I talk about Opie, I get comment like I'll defend him mildly, where I'm like, this isn't always how he was. I know people always think he sucked, or I should say, think he's always sucked, but it was never this bad. And you'll hear in that fight, it was not the Opie we're dealing with today, where he's like, I know Jim. I know that Anthony's doing stuff on Reddit. It's like he didn't have that cartoonish feature about him. He talked like a person.
It was only 10 years ago. Yeah. And the way he talks that you picked up on is night and day, but also his appearance. He's aged a lot. Yeah, it's not great. So I'm looking forward to covering that. Hellraiser 69, one of the biggest celebrities in the chat. Ooh. $5 super sticker. I think we're going to see him at the Vinnie Paulino comedy show at Comedy at the Carlson.
Whoa, Vinny's headlining?
He is.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was talking to him the other day. He's been writing material. He says he's got like 50 minutes he's going to do.
Wow, nice.
So yeah, I'm excited. He's got some good stuff. KFT coming in on supertip.gg/WATP.
I love when woke dad give me a funny soda and I wake up with my ass bleeding. I love cock. Big ones. Knickers stole my wallet.
Jesus.
All right, I'm going to play that now. But Mike, you got anything else you want to say?
We have more. I have more on woke dad later. I'll say
all right. Well, since we were just talking about Opie.
Opie Radio. The Opie Radio Podcast.
Skunk fart.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What a douche.
Oh my God.
Cuzaroo.
Sorry, I just haven't found my Opie soundboard.
It's expanded.
I know. I haven't hit those in a long time. Some of those drops. Opie's on TikTok.
He sure is.
As you know. Opie's trying everything. Opie's throwing everything at the wall.
Well, can I say this before we get into his TikTok?
Yeah.
I worry he's been leashed, this man. I look at his Unleashed channel, expecting more frivolity and fun. And he's now just posting like multiple hour live streams on there.
Last night, he was at the basement of Gebhard's.
Yeah.
And he was streaming from the Opie Unleashed NYC YouTube channel. And I was on YouTube at the time, and it happened to come up for me, and I clicked into it to see what he was talking about. And I'm like, wow, he's got a lot of viewers in here. It's like 160 people live. That's different. Then I get a message from Missy B saying, hey, Anthony just sent a bunch of people over to Opie's stream. And I'm reading through the comments. And just everyone is dunking on Opie's got Ron the waiter there, who's so obnoxious and so bad.
I suspect that episode is not up anymore, or is it?
It probably is. Opie doesn't really take stuff down, I don't think.
Oh, good, okay.
But it is interesting that the Opie Unleashed channel is no longer the Opie Unleashed, which is what he promoted it as. Now it's just all of his live streams and
the same as the other horseshit channel.
Yeah. He's realized that the other channel with 170,000 subs getting 0 views isn't helping his algorithm, so he's starting over again.
Yeah,
is what's happening. But on TikTok, everything's brand new.
Oh, yeah.
And I love when Opie gets political, as you know.
I believe in my note to you, I said, can we tell Anthony when he sends people over to Opie's chat?
Yeah.
Let Anthony know we only want hard-hitting political, like very detailed political
specific questions about things that are happening in politics that day.
Just watch how he answers this.
Yeah.
Any opinion on the green cards and student visas getting revoked over protesting for Palestine in Columbia and other schools? Yeah, I think, those people, I'll be honest with you, those college people that protest, they're annoying. They're annoying as all hell. But guess what?
He's talking like Bobo now. They're annoying.
Yes.
They're so annoying. He just picks up on everyone else's speech patterns and steals it.
We just talked about Bobo on Why Are You Laughing? And we were talking about how like Opie did this thing, and Norton would do it too, where like it became the bit like, why is he calling now? Like they would get very annoyed with Bobo. But Opie would take it to a level where it's like, I fucking hate this guy. And it's like, okay, easy, big fella. But now he's adopted his speech pattern. It's weird.
It is. And he doesn't know he's doing it.
No.
Because once it gets pointed out to him, he stops doing it. Like he doesn't do the cheers thing. I haven't heard it as much lately.
It's too bad.
Of course, Anthony has pointed out the Opie going, it's the future. Which was what Anthony
There's
would
another
do.
one I thought of when you guys were talking about that.
Yeah.
And it was when they used to play old WAAF clips, or maybe it was any, I can't remember. But Opie had a thing, like his sign off, like when callers would hang up or whatever, Opie would go, see you every time. And that was also a Ron Bennington thing.
Yep.
That was a Ron Bennington thing. I assume Ron was doing that on Ron and Ron. Opie seems like a big enough radio guy that he would have known that. It couldn't just be a coincidence. But I remember when they played that, I was like, are they not going to point out that that's clearly a Bennington thing?
He's incredible. I mean, so many things were stolen from Brother Reese, who's one of the worst broadcasters you ever heard.
Yes,
stealing from Ron Bennington and Anthony is smarter. Bobo, not so much.
Yeah. But guess what? In America, you should have the right to do that. Free speech isn't just for the cool people.
What?
True
free speech isn't just for the cool people? That's his take on free speech?
No. It's his take on losing visas for protesting. Let's keep in mind what the original question was, because the answer is taking us on a real detour.
Yeah. It has to do with specific privileges being taken away based on your behavior. Okay.
True free speech, you gotta listen to some garbage. As Ozone used to say, come on, that's not cool. People don't really understand real free speech. You know, you have the right to hear really shitty things.
That's my favorite part of that video. At the end of it, now he posted this. I didn't edit that. I would have if I'd given the chance. People don't understand free speech, followed by him not understanding free speech. You have the right to hear some pretty shitty things. No, that's not a right.
It was he didn't have any idea what that person was asking him.
Yeah, he has no idea what he's saying right now. I wish he would step in the Palestine-Israel thing. That'd be fun.
I remember there's a moment that resulted in a classic clip on the Kirk Minahan show.
Mm-hmm.
Where I was very embarrassed that Kirk asked me something and I didn't want to look like I didn't know it. So I tried to answer it in a way where I was like, he'll think I understand what he's talking about. I go, I don't know, it just never fucking ends. And he goes, what? And I was like, oh, did that not make sense?
That's the worst feeling.
I was caught.
Yep.
And that is, so I know it when I see it.
Yep.
That was Opie right there where he's like, man, it's just free speech is crazy.
I mean, people don't understand the free speech is all about hearing things. You don't have the right to not hear stuff. What are you talking about?
How did we get here?
It's neither here nor there, Opie, you idiot. You don't. People don't understand what the word rights means either.
Right.
You have the right to hear some pretty shitty things. What does that mean? You have no idea what you're saying.
What our forefathers fought for.
All right, let's get his take on Joe Rogan. He doesn't talk about Joe Rogan enough, does he?
This came out of nowhere, where it's like, why? I want to set this up properly,
please,
because
please.
Opie was the Rogan guy.
Yeah,
I almost wonder if Anthony would have even ever had Rogan on if it wasn't for Opie.
Okay,
because Opie loved Rogan. Opie named the Death Squad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's the one that gave them that name. He loved Rogan, and on the show forever, he would talk about. He did Rogan before I think Anthony ever did.
I think you're right. Yes, I think that's true.
So, like, he loved Rogan, and now listen to this asshole turncoat because he's done nothing for the last 10 years, so he can't get booked on the biggest podcast in the world.
You think there's some jealousy going on here, Mike? Is that what you're okay?
Yeah. Most of the comedians I hung out with and still hang out with to this day, not as many as the past, obviously, they will all tell.
Now it's just Ron the waiter. Stop pretending you hang out with comics, Opie.
Well, he admitted he's worked on his shit. He's admitted it's not as many as it used to be.
Yeah, it's not even close.
They will all tell you Rogan's not funny. But as soon as you go on your little live streaming podcast and say that, the comedian will go, I didn't say that. Most of the comedians I hung out with.
By the way, who's he talking about? Like, Legion of Skanks have made fun of Rogan. A bunch of people have made fun of Rogan before.
Opie's so out of it. Opie has no idea what Joe Rogan does. He talks about the Joe Rogan experience, not knowing what it is at all the time.
Yeah.
He thinks it's this comedy romp, like a Legion of Skanks show. He thinks that's what Rogan's doing, and it's not. And then this whole thing was just like, no one's allowed to say that Joe Rogan isn't funny. That last special came out, and all I heard was everyone say that Joe Rogan wasn't funny.
Almost exclusively.
Right.
I said I thought it was whatever. I thought it was like fine, and people were like, you're a shill for Rogan.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
And Opie always has the exact wrong take on shit. They're like, why does everyone think that Joe Rogan's so funny? Everyone thinks Joe Rogan's like the best interviewer podcaster, or, up there anyway. He's very good at it. Gets interesting people on the show, has interesting discussions with them. Sometimes they meander a little bit too much for my liking, but
sure. No, Rogan being unfunny has almost become a hack take at this point.
Right. Yes. And I think you've said this before. It goes without saying, whether Joe Rogan's funny or not, I mean, obviously we can have that debate. What he's done for comedy is second to none.
Tremendous. Yeah. Absolutely.
More so than Carson. Like, Carson made comics, but he also didn't give a fuck about comedy.
Right.
Whereas Joe
Rogan
makes comics and also builds places for them to become famous and perform and make money.
He's built a city into a comedy.
Right, yes. And if you remember early Rogan, maybe mid Rogan, I guess, every guest he'd have on, he'd be like, you got to start a podcast, man. You should start a podcast. I mean, that's why we have Fighter and the Kid and all these shows that suck now.
Sure. Well, also Ari Shaffir.
But also, right. He's got the tank and stuff like that.
Good ones, yeah.
No, but that was the thing. Like, Joe it's all about building other people up and giving them a platform and watching other people succeed and enjoying that.
And you know what's hilarious is Rogan's doing what Opie and Anthony did for a while on a much larger scale.
Correct.
Where he'll have these comedians on and in a way like give them a career or an audience. And Rogan, more than anyone, to an annoying extent, who he credits for that is Opie and Anthony.
Correct.
Now, often he says Anthony more so because Live from the Compound, but he always goes out of his way to say like Opie and Anthony. I was heavily influenced by Opie and Anthony, and this ungrateful cunt doesn't get that at all. Like this is the most bitter, angry guy, and he doesn't do it in a funny way either.
Yeah, Joe Rogan, if he ever brings up Opie and Anthony, all he says is glowing things, and Opie goes out and just goes, he's an asshole. Like, wait, what? Where is this coming from?
The one time Rogan came close to saying even a negative word about Opie was he was with Anthony, and he's like, hey, why did Opie make this video about me where he's calling me a prick?
Yeah. I saw that. It was on Compound Media.
Yeah.
Right after that happened. It was so funny. So maybe Opie deserves what he has. I'd be interested to hear. Opie has a lot to say about Joe Rogan because he thinks that's the king of the podcasters. Does he even know Kill Tony? If you asked Opie, what do you think about Kill Tony? Would he even know that show exists?
That's great. That's a great question because I've always said that about Stuttering John. Like, I wish. I actually, Kill Tony's a perfect example. I forgot when Tony got in trouble for the Trump rally.
Yes,
John goes, I never even heard of this guy.
That's right. He did say that.
How
like,
is
you
that?
don't know
You're a
Tony
comedian.
Hinchcliffe is? Yeah, you claimed to be a comic for 25 years. What?
It's crap. But like, I always wanted people like there was a guy with Shane Gillis's name. It was like Portland Shane Gillis or something like that. And I always wondered.
Yeah.
I always wondered, like, does John even know who that is? Would that even be on his radar?
I doubt it.
Yeah.
I mean, Shane Gillis, you should definitely know who that is, but he's a little newer to the scene than Tony Hinchcliffe. He's been around for quite some time.
A thing I saw Opie doing while I was perusing the Opie Unleashed channel is he's like, can someone tell me, was Shane Gillis a guy that we passed over that wanted to get on the Opie and Anthony show? Opie and Anthony's last year on the air, Shane was like 24.
Right.
And Opie's like, man, we should have had him on. It's just like he says things to make himself relevant. Like, oh man, I passed on Shane Gillis. What a fool. Shane Gillis was at fucking West Point when Opie and Anthony was on the air.
He's so out of it. And the idea that, and he was talking about how Tim Sabian gave this idea, you should sit down with comics when they're doing their sets at the Comedy Cellar or something and do a podcast talking to them or something like that. Opie doesn't know anything about comics or comedy. He's so out of it. He's not even trying to. That's the problem with Opie. It's always been the problem with Opie. He has no passion for anything.
Right.
You know who does have a passion for things is Delete Lawz, Chili de Castro.
Yes.
I'm a little out of order on this. I apologize. But Delete Lawz was at a very long YouTube stream. And Mike, I bow to you, my friend. I don't know how you sift through this shit.
I do the grunt work.
You really do. This is impressive right here. So we have some clips from this latest stream that did go on for over 3 hours, but we'll bring you the highlights. Don't you worry.
Yeah, he's very excited about this board game he's been getting ready for.
We're going to learn a lot about the board game, but first.
For me, can you do that for me? And listen, I want you guys to understand something here. There is a mission. There is a mission to accomplish here. And the moment I start trying again on TikTok, on YouTube, on Facebook, as soon as I start to try again, we will skyrocket. I'm not going to try right now. I'm too busy. Mikey B, I'm too busy.
So his numbers are down everywhere.
Yeah.
And he's doing this thing that I've heard you talk about very often with a lot of these people, where he's like, well, the thing of it is, I'm not even trying.
I wrote down two names. Opie. Opie is one, but then
I can't guess the other one.
Patrick Michael is the other one.
All right.
Patrick Michael is a guy who always, whenever he gets called out for sucking a podcast, he's like, well, I'm not even trying. Why would I put effort into this thing? I don't make any money on it. Who cares?
Yeah, so he's saying like, hey, there's the reason I used to get like 60,000 views and now I get 3, it's because I don't give a fuck about this channel. Meanwhile, every post is like, please buy my trifold. I've got a game coming out. Will you buy these things from me, please?
Yeah, even the title of this one is all caps.
Yeah.
So, yes, he's trying to get people's attention, but how convenient is that to just be like, well, I'm not even trying to do this right now. Well, why not?
You guys are here? I didn't even realize I was posting.
I got news for Chili de Castro. When he becomes the governor of whatever state he's going to run for governor of.
Still saying that like that, by the way.
I know. I saw at the beginning of this video, he's still talking about he's going to become the governor. Like, you're going to have to do like multiple things and do all of them well. People are going to rely on you to multitask. You can't just be, what about the budget? Chili's like, I'm not even trying with the budget. I can't be bothered with the budget right now.
Oh, I haven't even started to govern. Once I get governing,
You're right. Yeah.
Oh, this state is going to be back on
when I
its
do
ass.
sink my teeth into that budget, though, you watch out, everyone.
I'm going to turn this state upside down once I get into it.
This is hilarious. You called this one an odd threat.
Yeah, I don't know why he's being
Thanks so much,
confrontational with us.
I want to cover now. I'm going to go over the board game a little bit. So, and I'm going to give you a little bit of the insights of the board game, but I'm not going to give you how the board game is played just yet. It's so strange. Like, people contact me as if I don't keep a record of every single contact I ever get. If you ever contact me, I keep a record of who you are, no matter what it is. And so unless you change your email address and your phone number, if you contact me, Mad Hatter, if you contact me, I keep your number and I keep your email address.
Now, I want to point something out. What he's bragging about is the default settings for both text messages and emails. They just get saved automatically, and you have that person.
And he has the power to do that. So look out.
This is a crazy brag right here. He's like, if you emailed me 3 years ago, I still have it. Well, yeah, I have all the emails from 3 years ago too.
But he's not suggesting that these people are like threatening him and his family. He's saying, these people, they're asking me the rules of the board game. Do you understand? I have your fucking phone number, bro.
Yeah, I know. It's just out of nowhere. He's just like, by the way, I know who you are. You're like, yeah, no, I know, because we corresponded that one time. We had actually a little back and forth.
I can't imagine a mindset where like someone messaged me and says like, hey, did you see Rick Glassman was on Kalila's podcast? And I'm like, oh, you just fucked up, my friend.
Yeah.
I know your real name now, you idiot.
Yeah.
Why? Why am I threatening you?
You emailed me about Opie 7 months ago, didn't you? Yeah, I knew that. I have that right here in my Gmail account.
You fool.
But I also love the fact that he goes, unless you change your email address, okay, so this is pretty easy to get around then, is what you're saying?
The plan might seem foolproof, but there's one minor way around it.
Right. Like, let's say that you have multiple email addresses or just set up a brand new one to message me. Then I'll have no idea who you are. But other than that.
Say Chili DeCastro's an asshole at gmail.com isn't your real email. Then I suppose I wouldn't be able to find you.
I wouldn't know who you were. All right, let's get into the sales pitch because you've been covering this board game. I'm confused by it.
I'm excited.
I want to know. I want to be excited. I love Chili DeCastro. As you know, I'm a huge fan.
Sure.
But I want to know why I haven't purchased a board game in my entire life. I was trying to think back to a time when I purchased a board game. I haven't.
Wow.
So I'm wondering why I need to purchase this board game. Mike.
There's never been a board game like this, so I can see this being.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Right. All right. Now let me give you a little bit of preview of the board game because a few of you guys have pre-ordered the board game. But let me show you what the board game is.
A few. I'm guessing 3. If there's a few people who pre-ordered this game, it's got to be 3 max.
Well, we know their last names too.
That's true. Yeah, watch out. I got your email address.
You can really kind of understand, but the important part is how the board game works because it'll teach your children, it'll teach college kids, high school kids, junior high school kids. It'll teach you, the 45, 65-year-old person sitting in your house, and you're like, man, I really want to understand how our rights work. This game
ages 8 to 80
history.
I'm sorry. What was that?
I said ages 8 to 80. It's very exciting.
Yeah, I know. It's very specific with that.
And teaches you our Constitution, our articles, our amendments. It teaches you in a way where you're doing things. And I'm not going to go much further than that.
Now, Mike, I have to tell you, this isn't a good pitch for me because if I was curious about any of those things, before I bought a game, I would have looked them up.
No, you don't understand. You're too lazy to do that. Don't you get it? This is accommodating you. And I will say, if you've reached the age of 65 and you're getting ready for retirement, do you really need at this point in your life to brush up on the Constitution?
It's time to learn about my constitutional rights.
Probably not. I don't think you need to use your final years to be a Constitution expert, but I could be wrong.
I have a question, Chili DeCastro. I'm raising my hand over here. That sounds boring. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that not a question?
You don't think
my bad?
Well, let me ask you if this is boring. Do you, when you were a kid in school, did you ever make flashcards to study for a test?
Yeah.
Do you think that was boring?
It wasn't. It wasn't fun.
Oh, well, then you might not like this game.
All right. Well, hold on a second. He's going to tell us more about it. We're going to learn more about this game.
So what this does is the board game breaks down the amendments so that you can learn them. So here's the text of the amendment. So here's the text of the 11th Amendment, Part 1. It says here, the electors shall meet in their respective states and vote by ballot for president and vice president, one of whom at least shall be an inhabitant of the same state with themselves. They shall name in their ballots the person voted for as president, and in distinct ballots, the person voted for as vice president, remainder omitted for length. Okay.
I'm sorry.
But then
You going, yay!
Yes. I was waiting for a game to be about the 11th Amendment. That's my favorite one. This is awesome.
The word electors should never be in a game that you're pitching to children.
So it goes into exactly how it works. It goes into exactly the 12th Amendment fixed the original system for electing the president and vice president. Before this amendment, the person with the most votes became president and the runner-up became the vice president. This amendment created separate ballots for the president and one for the vice president, so candidates would run as a team. So that was the 12th Amendment Part 1. I have these backwards a little bit, sorry. So here's the 13th Amendment Part 1, and this is what the card looks like. It says card 32. Then if you look right here, it says slot 25. This is how you learn it. So I actually have these backwards.
This is hilarious right now. I can't imagine a more confusing game than this. He goes, okay, so this card has the 13th Amendment Part 1. It's on card 32. Do you put it in slot 25?
But so I cut it off just for sanity's sake. But it keeps going where then you learn about the Supreme Court judges that passed certain bills,
right,
and all this bullshit.
You learn their names, you learn who they were friends with.
College.
Yeah, right. But I'm sorry, I can't get past this Aaron Immold-esque usage of numbers. Where it's like Aaron will be like, all right, we got 22 minutes to get $38, and you'll get another 30 minutes if we hit that. But if you get us $12, then we'll give you 15. And then it's like, what does all of this mean? This guy's talking about the 13th Amendment Part 1 on card 32 and slot 25. This game sounds like a fucking debacle.
And I was being a little flippant when I
understand.
when I made the reference to flashcards earlier.
Yes.
I was being cute. There's no chance you're fitting this much information on a flashcard.
No, you're not learning anything from this.
It is such an extreme amount of words that there's no chance you're going to take in the information.
Yeah, what he's showing right now is like a PDF of all of the printed cards front and back. And the back of these cards, so the front will say 13th Amendment Part 1, and the back is just full of 10 or 12 point font text. Yeah. It's just clustered in there. We're just sitting there reading and reading and reading. That's a fun game right there.
Yeah. And he keeps doing this thing as he's explaining it where he's again like threatening us and poking us in the chest going, I'm not going to explain the rules today.
Right.
Like don't even dare think I'm going to first of all, I don't give a fuck if you explain, but also why not? Why are you against that? We're here to watch about the board game.
Yeah, why not tell us why it's fun or interesting? Well, I have one more. This is the cool part.
Okay,
of this game.
All right, bearing the lead.
So these are the amendments, and as you can see, I've been just cranking away getting all these amendments done. But the really cool part is when we get into some of the case law.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at. So here's going to be card number 22 down here on the lower left-hand side. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. I hope you guys can see that right there.
It's on the screen. So yeah.
Then right there, it'll say West Coast Hotel versus Parish. This breaks down how the judges voted. And in the lectures I'll be teaching, I'm going to teach you about the Supreme Court justices themselves. These are what you call the four horsemen.
Thank God.
These are the four horsemen. Does anybody know what the four horsemen stands for?
I do.
Put it in the
Chili me.
section below. And then this breaks down the case of exactly what West Coast Hotel versus Parish is. This goes in slot 46. It's card number 22.
Okay, I stand corrected. I'm fascinated by this. I can't wait to play it. I was wrong.
I see what you're saying about the numbers now, by the way.
Oh, it's nonstop. Everything. It's so confusing.
I have a good buddy who went to law school out in Minnesota, and we visited him out there years ago. And I remember texting him and saying, "Hey, motherfucker."
Is it Nick Rekieta?
No.
different Minnesota lawyer.
I forgot. It was Minnesota, though.
Yeah.
But I texted him. Nick Rekieta came over. Actually, Nick Rekieta would have been perfect for this because of all the fun we had. Because I said, "Hey, motherfucker, you better be saving that case law for when we get there." And he said, "Don't you know it, Mikey? I'm up to my eyeballs in case law."
Yeah, because I can read legislation. That's fun, but I want case law.
Yeah, these are the boys are coming over. Come on.
That's right. Yeah, I want to see it in action. By the way, this case law that he's referring to on just that clip was a case about the minimum wage. What does that have to do with anything? And this guy all about your rights and police brutality and all this shit. He's losing the plot.
Well, no, it's important. You have to know that. In order to know why these pigs are running the country, you have to start at the bottom and work your way up.
There was 2 no-knock raids on his apartment in the same year. And that's why he's mad at the police. And I was talking about minimum wage being a case in front of the Supreme Court in 1906.
I wonder if that'll be a card in the game. Like, hey, you've been wrongfully arrested for selling drugs.
Right.
Pass go.
Go to jail.
Not in this game.
Not in this game. All right, well, that's good. Let's get caught up real quick. We have Woke Dad coming up and some voicemails. And also, I got to tell you, the sleuths in our Discord, I got some information about Woke Dad you're going to love.
Oh, no. All right.
Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. But real quick, let's get caught up. Supertip.gg/WATP is where you want to go to support the show like Anonymous did here.
I'm a badass who rides my bike in spandex and no helmet.
Hey, Carl, listen, nobody cares.
I was asked by my co-host.
There was a little bit of like, don't you guys think I'm cool though? You know, no helmet.
I wear a ball cap and I'm not going to wear a helmet riding my bicycle around.
He's like Dennis the Menace, this guy.
It's a bicycle. Fuck off.
Hey, Carl, tell that fat friend of yours, Eric, to give me back my life's work or else it gets the hose again.
All right. Thank you, Steve Morton. I'll let him know. There was a funny tweet that Eric responded to. Opie put out some passive aggressive tweet about getting his stuff back.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. And Eric's just like, well, someone had to send this to me. He says I'm blocked, but hey, douche.
Yeah.
I like that E-Rock is finally sticking up for himself a bit.
And by the way, like De Niro doesn't own his life's work.
No, life's work is so douchey to say. Like I was talking to my buddy Drew about this. He couldn't get over the fact that Opie kept calling it his life's work.
Yeah.
It's like he did a radio show. Everyone who ever did a radio show for years doesn't have every episode recorded in their basement. It's fine.
And by the way, the radio show that he did, as much as I love it, it's like one day I wanted to show my kids when I threw fucking baloney at that stripper.
That was so annoying. Like his kids were going to listen back to his radio. It's like, yeah, they got it's on YouTube. They're not going to want to. Trust me.
Right.
They're going to be disgusted by it. It's not going to translate to other generations very well, it seems.
Oh, I suspect not. I haven't gone back and listened to much of it.
Icon Buckets $2 says, shut up, Spade. I hope he's talking about David Spade.
Oh, I think that might be a reference to Bobo. It's knock it off is the correct.
Oh, knock it off, Spade. Okay. I gotcha. Let's check out what our buddy Woke Dad's up to.
Sitting in my mobile coffee shop, making videos about my transvestite children for TikTok.
Dan Alexander, the shoe fits on TikTok, one of our favorite guys that we like to look at. He recently built an art studio for disadvantaged children. No, what's the word he uses? Vulnerable.
It's a safe space for
Yes.
vulnerable children. Yes.
Right. He built this by himself with donations from you fine people, and someone donated a kiln to him, and then he started up his ceramic shop, and now he develops all this pottery, and we've seen it before. And he talks about it. He's got a mobile coffee shop, and all of his mugs that he makes is pottery are right out in front for people to look at and do some window shopping. And then they might say, you know, I'm just going to get a regular coffee black, but go ahead and put it in this mug. I like this mug right here.
Yeah.
But sometimes bad things happen.
Today someone decided to steal from me, and I sort of have mixed feelings about it. And I have mixed feelings about it because the pottery that I make, the stuff that I make...
You don't think someone stealing from him should give him mixed feelings?
I was robbed, and now how do I feel about this?
Let's find out why he has mixed feelings about it. All right, let's see.
I can sell. It supports my art studio, and my art studio supports local kids. And in order to keep the lights on and keep the space open and keep the renovations going, I need to have some level of income. And I mean, to be honest, I've been absolutely floored by some of the donations that people have made. It's really helped with a lot of the renovations and stuff, but that's not a sustainable income. I need to be able to make stuff and
Basically
sell it
worthless.
so that I can pay the utility bills and the other bills that are based around this space. So most of my pottery I sell out of this, which is my mobile coffee shop. I put things on the ledge. It's sort of an honor system. People pick out items that they like while I'm making their coffee, and then they pay me for it and they drive off. Well, today someone stole a vase off the shelf. I guess it's kind of flattering that someone thought one of my items was nice enough to steal, but it's still...
I'll never forget, Mike.
What a nut.
I'll never forget when the Target CEO came out when all the looting was going on in the stores. And he was like, look, I don't like that people are vandalizing our stores and robbing them, but what does that say about the locations we picked out? People know where Target is. They know how to get there. Pandemic hits, they're in there, baby.
I bet the people in the chat lost a lot of money betting that it was going to be, but it was an underprivileged black youth.
Oh, right, yes.
I thought it was going to be someone that needed it more than he did or something.
No, it's a mixed feeling because he's like, I want people to pay for this stuff, but they wanted it, so that's pretty cool.
Art is so goddamn good.
Right.
Still kind of frustrating. It's the idea that I'm trying to do something good in this world and someone decided to take from that. It doesn't change anything for me. It really doesn't. It doesn't change my trust in other people. It doesn't change my mission. It doesn't change the good that I'm trying to do in this world. It just is a little discouraging.
Probably didn't even need to talk about it then.
Yeah, it'd be crazy if someone stole one item from you and it changed your whole disposition.
You know what? I don't think humanity is dead. And now that I'm thinking about it, I probably didn't need to talk about it because evidently it didn't affect me at all.
Guys, I've been a liberal Democrat, as you know, I talk about it a lot. Now I'm an anarchist. And now I say every man for himself. It's a free-for-all out there. Fuck it.
Based on the way David feels about this is like if I lost my headphones and I came on here and was like, guys, I lost my headphones, but I've decided I'm not going to kill myself.
You might notice I'm wearing headphones. I ordered a new pair. So
I think that's very brave of me.
I'm going to keep podcasting.
Yeah, just make another vase, I guess.
You know, I have mixed feelings about something too that I want to talk about on here. So I didn't want to bring this up. It's very personal, but since Dave is talking about these things, my wife was recently essayed. And while that's a horrific thing, it's kind of flattering, you know, that they find her attractive enough that they would pick her out of the group and do that. It's like,
she's not a dog, I guess.
Yeah, you're right. I'm like, someone did pretty well for himself.
Yeah,
if they're forcing themselves
you hear
out
that,
there.
John? Someone's not looking so bad.
As Record Lover in our Discord pointed out, Record Lover is also woke.dad. He has a security camera pointed at that counter. He could show the footage. He could see who did it. He could talk to us about this. This is probably another made-up story.
No, but it didn't affect him that much. That's why he's not showing us.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that's why he's not going to the cops.
Well, Mike, I don't know if you know about this, but not only does he sell his ceramics at the mobile coffee shop, he's also now going to these art shows.
Oh, I do know about this. Yeah, I saw a video where he talked about it.
Okay. Well, there's also a Facebook post, and the fine folks in our Discord found this because his girlfriend, or I should say partner.
Yes. Hey, don't make that mistake.
Posted this on her Facebook. And so it says, and don't look at the name, it doesn't matter. It says, Dan is ready and open for business at the Moravia Spring Craft Fair, Moravia High School. Okay. And she posts all these photos of his stuff, and it's all these mugs, and he's got price tags on it. You see he brought tons of pieces. He's showing off his art that he puts on the bottom of them. Okay. He also has paintings and vases that we can see here. Wow. Plates.
Nice.
Big pieces of art here. Lots of art going on. And then there's Dan behind it, kind of looking off like, hey, look at what I did, huh? Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And then here's him peeking around his art at another photo. He has 3 full tables of art. This guy spent the maximum amount to display all of his shit.
Yeah. Well, don't you understand? He has to keep the lights on, damn it.
And then over here, there's another photo of him. And now he's got a reluctant, like, can you believe what I have to do, what I'm up to over here?
He's covered in paint.
So I want to thank Admiral Underpants in our Discord for looking at one of these photos, and he zoomed in. He found all the prices on everything. And so this is just 19 mugs that you can see visibly what the prices are. Now there's over 100 items. There's probably 300 items here, but 19 mugs, $475 is what he's looking for these 19 mugs. So not bad.
How many is that per mug?
They average $30.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it seems excessive, right?
You made them. You don't have to.
No. Hold on a second. No, there's tariffs. There's shipping.
Yeah.
There's
clay was
overhead bureaucracy. There's marketing involved. A lot of expenses that go into this.
What the fuck?
So I thought this was a great find. That they're posting this all over Facebook. Very proud of his art, and this is what he's doing.
Are these all items he made?
Thank you. That was the other point that was pointed out in our Discord. I forgot to say.
Yeah.
Not one piece is a child made this in his art
How's he
studio.
had time for this?
This is all he's doing. He works 4 hours a day, Monday through Friday, at the coffee shop.
Yeah.
From what I'm told, I don't know. I think he works like 6 to 10 or something like that.
Okay.
And then he spends the rest of his time making art. And we paid for this. We being the royal we. I didn't donate personally, but you get the point.
You can imagine if we did.
Yeah, right?
We'd be real busted up about it.
So that's why you saw this video. That's why I pulled this one. I think it's appropriate after seeing what he's up to.
Okay.
This is sort of a tough moment where it probably shouldn't be a tough moment. It's a little emotional, but if you see behind me, the walls were empty where they were once full. And it's because I have a craft show tomorrow. This is the art studio, and this space is gonna.
So now he needs us to buy supplies so he can make art for the walls.
Right. And he's choked up
shithead.
The art that he made to decorate his art studio. They're up on his walls. He had to pull down to go sell for $50.
Yeah, but now you're gonna have to make more art.
Correct. Well,
It's a Ponzi scheme.
No, there's an Amazon wish list. You should get right on there, Mike. He's going to need more paint and crayons.
Son of a bitch.
Support local kids, keep them safe, give them a safe space. And I love some of the art that I do. I love to keep it. I love to have it here so that other people can see it. But the reality,
You love some of the art that you do, Dem. You're impressed with everything you create, including those 2 retarded children you have.
Well,
is
Did I go too far just now? I'm sorry.
A little bit.
My bad. I take it back. We're friends.
Sure, they're
still.
very nice.
We're friends still, right, Dad? Sure, the kids are great.
I need to keep the lights on in this space. I need to keep the power. I need to keep the renovations coming. So
why didn't you think about that when you decided to open an art studio that was a charitable endeavor?
What you should have said is, guys, I would love an art studio. That could be a safe space for vulnerable children or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
But I just don't have the means. I'm not the guy to do it. So maybe if there's anyone out there that wants to invest in an art studio, then we can all run the art studio together. Stop acting like you're the proprietor of this art studio when you need us to give you money for it.
Yeah, he's literally complaining about utility costs. Like, you didn't think about this before, that this was going to be a thing?
Well, under the Biden administration, no one had to pay for electricity.
Good point. You're right.
This orange bastard.
Yeah, he has tanked the market. That is true.
when I have something like this, a craft show, it's sort of like impending doom for me a little bit. I need to be able to fund the space, to be able to support kids. But I love these paintings. And I'll be really happy to see other people love them as much as me.
Oh, man.
And I'll be really happy to see
that's
them
impossible,
go to amazing
by the way.
homes.
Correct.
But it's still, it's got me a little emotional. I hope you all have a great weekend and wish me luck.
He just got choked up talking about his own art that he's made in the children's art studio.
This is what I do when me and the skirt go for long drives. I make her put on my podcast, and I'm like, oh man, when me and Craig did Boston Hilaria Baldwin, that was the pinnacle. We really did something there.
You're like, what a moment. I'm just glad that other people are enjoying it even more than I am.
And
right
she's
now.
like, yeah, it's pretty funny. And I'm like, would you please just be quiet?
Yeah. All right, rewind it now. Back it up 15 seconds. You missed something. I was doing an impression of Alec Baldwin there. You missed it. What a douche. That tells you everything you need to know about this guy. He's getting choked up talking about selling his art because he's going to miss it.
That is my favorite when these guys cry over their own achievements.
Yes.
Like, look what I painted. Any regular person would go, hey, here's a painting I made. I don't know. I don't think it's very good. And you let everyone else go, oh my God, you did that? That's great.
That
You don't
was
go,
Howard
like, look
Stern's.
what I did.
Remember when Howard Stern was painting? That's all he was talking about. That was his approach. He'd be like, I'm not a very good painter. And then eventually he started showing his paintings and people were like, oh, that's actually pretty good.
That's
oh
smart.
yeah. That's how you do it. Also, let's not forget what's going on here. Dan pulled the paintings off the wall to hope to sell at this event. They'll probably go right back up on that wall when they don't sell. And he's already crying about them missing.
That's a good point, too. Yeah.
What are we talking about here?
You have to find 100 different people to buy all those items.
Yeah, if you're that upset about it, just leave them on the wall. You got plenty of crap to sell.
Oh, can I go back for a moment?
Yes.
The way you phrased it, that those 19 mugs were $400 whatever dollars.
Yeah, 500 almost.
He's selling them in together?
No, each separately.
Oh, thank God. Okay, all right.
Oh, yeah. Could you imagine?
I don't need 19. My cabinet's barely closed as it is.
No. Could you imagine if anyone who goes to this thing has that kind of money? They don't.
Okay, all right.
Don't worry about that. All right, let's see what else you picked. I took you on a little detour here. A little.
Oh, please. Yeah.
I sidetracked us with Woke Dad. Let's see what you were finding.
This is for all my liberal and left-leaning friends out there in content creator land.
Okay.
If you've done...
Oh, shit. Before we get away from this, I'm sorry. I forgot one other thing that Record Lover wrote in the Discord. So I mentioned that was posted on Facebook by his sweetheart there. Mm-hmm. Posted all those photos. So this guy commented underneath that. And he's not the Record Lover and he's not woke.dad. It's a whole separate thing. He commented on there, is that the shoe fits? ? As if like, oh, sweet, I know that art. Sure. He was blocked immediately.
What?
I know. So just bring up the shoe fits on Facebook, get you blocked.
But people used to flag him down in the street. The shoe fits. It's you.
I know you. Hey, you did that one video I didn't like. You're going to apologize to me? I'll never forget that story. So stupid. All right, I'm sorry. Let's get back to this.
Any friends out there in content creator land, if you've done that account check and it comes up restricted, welcome to the club. Of course, this seems really odd because I don't have any violations against my account. I don't say or do things that are purposely against the guidelines. I'm pretty kind.
Yeah, purposely has nothing to do with it. So he's showing now behind him, his account says, account restricted. Your account is restricted for not following our guidelines. And so he's complaining about that.
And this seems really super odd. And here's what I have to say about that. I don't care. That's not why I create content. I don't create content for engagement. I create content to help other people, to uplift other people, to create community, to be there for other people.
Okay. So none of this makes sense. Because I don't care if people can't find my account. It's restricted. Yeah. I create content to help people and create a community. He's like, well, yeah, don't you need them to be able to get to it then? Like,
sure. They need to
wouldn't this be a problem for all of your objectives that you're referring to?
If you didn't care, you wouldn't be making the video.
Yeah, like wouldn't you want a larger and larger audience that you can make more of an impact with and save more lives and do more great things? Like, what do you mean you don't care? This whole thing is just like, you're not going to believe my take on this. I don't care. And you know why?
Go ahead. This thing that none of you knew happened that I'm bringing up, I don't even care about it.
Right. Yeah, it's going back to the other video. It's like everything's just like, we didn't know that a vase got stolen. And you don't care? So what are we talking about then?
And it should be pointed out that the other side went through this for the last 8 years, and I don't think Daniel really gave a shit about it.
Nope. So. Definitely not. I don't remember the video of him going, listen, Alex Jones says a lot of crazy things, but everyone has a right to say what they want to say.
Right. He's built a community that he should be able to communicate with.
Yeah, right. You can't just take away his platform. I mean, the man has rights under our Constitution, as you know.
People, you see, when I first started on this app, I started to reach my kids. And at some point, someone came along and told me that I helped to save their life. So
see how often he mentions it?
I hate that story so much. First off, again, it makes no sense that he became a TikToker to reach his children. If you want to make videos, you can text message those to them or email them or whatever device they have.
He has to have a public TikTok
Is a
account. That's
public
the only way.
TikTok?
When I create stuff, I try and do it for the right reason. Now, I'm human, and of course I have reactions and interactions that not everybody would agree with, but that's not why I do any of it.
Well, did you catch that?
TikTok goes...
I have interactions that not everyone agrees with. I've never heard that sentence in my life.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Where, like, sometimes I have interactions that people think don't exist.
Yeah, this is the thing with Dan. There's another video coming up that I was going to point this out.
Yeah.
But Dan never accepts any fault. He pretends to.
Mm-hmm.
But he's actually like, guys, I'm just human. I do things that people don't agree with. I do things I shouldn't have done. I say things that I look back at I should have said.
Or I do things that people think are completely made up with good reason.
right. He never, ever actually takes any responsibility.
Right.
The way tomorrow, I'll be okay. Probably happier, with less stress. But do this for the right reason. And you're never going to worry when stuff doesn't go your way. I hope you have a good day. This is for all my liberal...
But to have less stress, I hate when people do that where it's like, oh, my life would be so much better if I could get off TikTok. Like, for some people, I get that you need it. Like, if you, the guys that work for Barstool need to be on social media. It's their job. So I could get them saying, like, when I retire or whatever, I'm just getting off Twitter. I can't do it anymore. Daniel he solely lives on TikTok.
Correct.
He doesn't. I don't think his income is from that. The only reason we know him is because he's on TikTok, and he's like, "Oh, I'd probably be even happier if I could get off TikTok." Then get off of it.
No, he literally said if TikTok went away. Remember it did. Do you remember how he reacted to it?
This is wrong.
Yeah, he freaked out and he went on YouTube and created an account and tried to start up a whole new thing on YouTube to be an influencer there. And now he's acting like he's above social media. We've seen how you react when social media is taken away. You got very upset about it.
Yeah, it's a sickness that you have, Dave.
It is. He's pretending to recognize it, but he's not. Also, I want to point out, so he's outside. You can hear nature. You can see the tree branches and stuff behind him and houses. The first hashtag of this video, you'll never guess.
Shadow band.
Hashtag green screen.
Why?
I have no idea. He did do the one green screen thing where he showed that his account was restricted or whatever. But
I guess that's why.
Yeah, so apparently TikTok gives you suggestions of what hashtags to use, and he's just like, "Yep, yep."
I will hop on the back of that observation and raise you one.
Okay.
He doesn't want to reach people.
Right? Why are you hashtagging? What are all these hashtags?
I don't give a fuck who I reach.
He's got hashtag change the world on there. I feel like he wants to do something with this platform. Yeah. All right, you ready for a message to parents out there?
Oh, I'd love one. Yes, I like that Daniel is a 40-something-year-old man who's sticking it to mom and dad.
Yes, as we know, Dan's alluded to the fact he no longer talks to members of his family, and we've all speculated that's his parents and maybe some other people as well. But they did vote for Trump, so that is a good reason to
bastards
shut your kids out of loved ones,
grandparents' lives.
Yeah, right.
Common sense is about as weak an argument as it gets, because the term common sense is based on every individual's opinion, and since every individual has a different opinion, well, it's a bad argument. It's a bad...
I would argue that, even though I don't want to because it's annoying. But common sense is not opinion. That's the whole...
Well, that proves what he's saying.
That's the reason why... okay, fair enough, but that's the reason why the term common sense exists, because it's not up for debate.
He's saying it doesn't exist.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's so stupid. Okay.
An opinion, well, it's a bad argument. It's a bad faith argument. You're right about one thing, though. Teaching your kids right from wrong, that's something that all parents should do. When I teach my kids right from wrong, I teach them how to be kind towards other people. I teach them how to uplift other people and not break people down. I teach them that people have differences in opinions, and it's okay to have a difference in opinion.
Okay, good.
I teach them that people with different values, though, those are the people that you don't need in your life.
Oh.
And that's why now more than ever.
That's interesting. You can have a different opinion, but you can't have different values.
Let's try. Let me throw an exercise at you.
Please, I have one too.
let's pretend I live in the Jim Crow South in the 60s.
Sure. Yep.
And I'm like, listen, I don't give a goddamn what color you are or where you're from. It's the value. If you have certain values, I don't want you in my neighborhood. Like if you don't agree with I don't want you in my schools. I don't want you marrying my children.
Right.
You know, but that's because you have different. I'm not a racist. It's because you have different values than me.
Yeah, you value the NBA more than I do. Right. I see what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting down right here.
Yes.
Well, so opinions and values. Opinions, you got to forgive people, but if they have different values, you can't talk to them ever again. So it's my opinion that children shouldn't have their genitalia mutilated. Now, I also value the fact that we should be doing that to children.
I gotcha.
So,
you have values.
Right. So I think that mine and Dad's values don't align for that reason. I'm like, well, you know, she's 16. Maybe don't take her boobs off quite yet. Let's let her kind of think through this a little bit more.
I don't want to wait 2 whole years.
Okay, fair enough.
So many kids are going no contact with their parents because they share different values and they have a right to consent whether or not that person deserves to be in their life. And I tell you one thing, when my kids were first born, I promised them I'd keep them happy, healthy, and safe. And that was it.
You can't make other people happy. Just want to point that out. Happiness is internal. It's a ridiculous goal to have, but okay.
Come on, pep up, kids.
I promise I'd keep you happy. And I see a frown over there. But this is interesting because he's saying that children have stopped talking to their parents because they have different values. But that will never happen to me. My kids will always have the right values. Like, well, that could change.
And I'm sure your parents thought, like, not meaning Daniel. I'm sure
right.
Daniel's parents thought, well, my kids will never not talk to me based on political differences.
Right. If there's like 2 choices to vote for a president, he can't like stop talking to me because I picked one of them, right?
We raised him better than that, certainly.
I keep them happy, healthy, and safe. And that was it. Those were the only stipulations I had because I knew they'd be different than me. And different's okay. And I will always keep my kids happy, healthy, and safe. And because of that, I don't have to worry about my kids ever going no contact. They know I love them, and they know I'll be there for them, even if they have different ideas than me.
Wait,
isn't I know none of that. It wasn't a good conclusion based on the build up.
Yeah,
but also, isn't it amazing that he's always the good guy? So we're literally talking about, in my opinion, I could be wrong. I don't know the family dynamics. We're literally justifying him not talking to his parents, which are the grandparents to his kids.
Yeah.
But he's also the good guy in this because his kids would never do that to him. But
he also doesn't see the immaturity of spinning it, like, because they voted for Trump, apparently.
Right.
And he's like, well, that means they don't love me. But my kids will never not love me because they'll always vote the same as I do. Like, what if these kids vote for fucking, I don't know.
Oh,
Trump,
God forbid.
For Baron Trump.
Oh, God forbid. I don't know if you even know what you just said just now, Mike. That's so offensive.
I know.
Could you imagine?
We won't post this one as a clip. It's too hot.
Could you imagine if that happened? Like, I've talked about this before. I grew up in a household where my dad listened to a lot of classical music, a lot of opera, and I opted to play electric guitar and play in punk rock bands. You know, sometimes children will do the opposite of what their parents are into because they see it as lame.
Right. Or not even see it as like if these kids grow up and say, Dad, I love you. You did a tremendous job raising us. Mm-hmm. I think your values, however, are dog shit. Yeah. And I don't agree with any of them. And I'm going to vote the opposite of you. Will Dan stop talking to them? Because that's what he just laid out.
You know, Dan, I want to talk to you about this tariff thing. I think Colombia should pay 25% to get the beads over to your mobile
Thailand's playing ball. Why can't everyone else be like that?
That's hilarious. Recreating conversations with him and his kids where they're like, I don't know, I kind of like some of the stuff. I mean, the stock market's taking a dip for a minute, but you got to understand manufacturing's going to come back and it's actually going to build long term for a better society.
Like, I don't know. Canada be like India, I guess, if you're that upset about it.
All right. One more woke dad clip. Thanks everybody for sticking around. Who are these socials? We've got a couple more super chats to read before we get out of here, and some voicemails coming up. But first,
I see a lot of people at my coffee shop window every week. I mean, like, a lot of people, hundreds of people, and I'm super friendly, so I get into a lot of conversations. And it's pretty clear that not all those people
I'm
share
the fucking
same
man, and everyone
ideas
wants to
values.
talk to me.
I like that he's like, I see hundreds of people. I have so many customers. You guys wouldn't even believe my coffee's so amazing. I'm a super friendly.
What do you do? What can I get you, sir? Sir,
I'm
please.
TikToking. Can you wait a minute? I know. He doesn't seem that busy, to be honest with you, when I see all these videos, but he pretends that he is. So that's good. But I also like when he explains that he's friendly and loving and great.
Yes. Yeah.
And
No,
it's pretty
I'm
clear
very
that
friendly.
not all those people share the same ideas and values and beliefs as me. I'm just as kind to every person who shows up to my window, and I'm understanding if they don't have the same ideas, but sometimes it gets pretty interesting. A little earlier today, a guy was sharing about his family.
Oh, we got an anecdote. All right, conversation between a customer from
We're
earlier
back,
in the day.
baby.
All right, let's
It's been
go.
a while.
Let's hear what this one. I always love these.
And I started talking about mine, and when I was talking about my sweetheart, I said my partner. And he stopped dead in his tracks, got this real serious look on his face, and he said, "You mean to tell me that you're gay?"
Yeah, because in 2025, that's what people say when they think there's a gay man that they're talking
What?
to.
You a pickle puffer boy? Did I just hear the word partner come out of your mouth, you sick pervert?
I'll be lighting some torches tonight. That's for sure.
Now, can I tell you? I sort of believe this story in this
Okay.
sense. In this sense. Maybe it just didn't happen. I don't know the levels to which Dan fabricates.
Mhm.
But here's what I believe could have happened. If he says, well, me and my partner were blah, blah, blah. And the person goes, oh, I didn't realize you were gay.
Right.
Yeah,
I could see that.
I don't think it was, you mean to tell me
You're not one of those, are you? Because I've been talking to you, and this is a problem.
You're not one of those goo gobbling freaks, are
I
you?
thought you were one of us pussy hounds. I don't want to have a conversation with you.
And then Daniel has to go, no, I bang pussy. I pulverize the pussy. Don't worry,
And
sir.
that's true. He did brag about that recently, and then they high-fived, and he's like, all right, man, here's a tip. Good for you.
And I said, "No, I'm not gay. I am straight, and I still have a partner because she's not an object to be owned. She's not less than me. We are co-equal partners in our relationship."
I'm confused. So partner is the best term, but girlfriend means you own them?
Yeah.
Isn't every term pretty much
You
kind of
own
the
all your
same?
friends, so a girlfriend.
Yeah, like what are you talking about? My significant other. Is that ownership? What do you mean?
Now, I prefer the sitcom version of this, where the guy goes, hey, you ain't gay, but you got a partner. What are you doing living with him? Like, you can't understand it.
Right. He doesn't compute with them. Yeah, but let's go back to that guy that you're hanging out with. What are you guys gambling on sports together or something? Yeah, poker buddies? What is this?
Than me. We are co-equal partners in our relationship. She's brilliant and kind and strong, and she is my partner.
Oh my God, this is so ridiculous. So he's having an argument with a guy that's long gone. I don't know why. I don't know why we're part of this argument. It's already over.
Yeah.
But also, he feels like he has to justify that his girlfriend is witty, intelligent, whatever. That's not what the guy meant when he's just like, a lot of gay people say my partner. That's just, it's a term that they use. He didn't mean any offense to your girlfriend.
She doesn't just suck my meat dry, if that's what you're thinking, pal. No, I
Stands by
wasn't.
my side. It's kind of weird that you would think otherwise.
He
It's also
didn't.
kind of weird that you would think that a derogatory term would be partner.
He didn't.
Or that there would be something wrong with someone being.
Whoa. Oh, I didn't pick up on this the first time. Now, because this guy goes, oh, are you gay? He's like, oh, partner's a derogatory term and it's a bad thing. It's like, no, he just thought you were gay. Do you think that's a bad thing?
Because you said a thing that for a time, I guess not a long time, but like a period of time in this country that signified I'm a guy with a
Same
husband.
sex.
or
Yeah,
whatever.
same sex, whatever, relationships. Wow. He's loading this up with a lot of his own insecurity here.
Otherwise.
It's also kind of weird that you would think that a derogatory term would be partner, or that there would be something wrong with someone being gay.
Wait, what did he say? What did the guy
yeah, I know. That was the end of the conversation.
And then the guy just shook his head and took his coffee and left? Or what?
He's the worst. His conversations. You couldn't record that one, Dan? You don't pull out the phone for that one?
So let me get this straight. You're having a conversation with a guy. It seems like a lovely conversation until this ugliness.
Correct.
Where you're like, yeah, I'm telling you about my day. Me and my partner do this. And this guy goes, you gay boy?
Yeah.
And he goes, why do you think that women aren't equal? And then the guy takes his coffee and goes home.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense at all. The guy goes, oh, you're gay. And he's just like, no, I have a girlfriend. She's very smart and intelligent. He's like, yeah, no, it's fine.
Based on the character he wanted us to believe this person was, there would have been an extreme reaction to Daniel saying that. The guy would have dumped out his coffee and gone, I'm never shopping here again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't even want to touch the mug. God knows where your hands have been.
That is true.
like the guys that played against Magic Johnson.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's like it's 1992.
Oh,
it's got AIDS all of a sudden. Goat Malp coming in on supertip.gg/WATP.
Notice I just said space that's gonna support. Means not one kid has been in the studio yet.
Yeah.
Just me, suckers.
Yeah, space is going to support children. Yes. Picked up on that. Icon Buckets says, a stolen vase. The fugitive strikes again. I am the vase fugitive.
Oh, the dog walked by. The dog walked by.
Icon Buckets, $2. My pottery's hotter than a mug. Daniel Danielson, hotter than a mug. This is the one pun says mugs made with the best marginalized child labor. That's correct. Mm-hmm. Only the best. And Rocco Orby 2002 $5 says he sees plenty of people, but he only works 4 hours a day.
I did like his description of his coffee truck being like Penn Station, where it's just
I know, just nonstop,
just constant foot traffic.
All sorts of different people he's interacting with all day long, and he's just a friendly guy selling newspapers.
Yep.
All right. We got some voicemails. People like to call into the show and give us their take on things. You can find the phone number at whoarethese.com. Just let us know it's for Who Are These Socials, WATS.
Yeah, those are WATS. Fucking thank you, Mike. That fucking episode of Futurama with Fry's dog, for years I've been hearing about how fucking sad it is and blah, 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 blah. And I just watch it and feel absolutely nothing. It's a fucking cartoon.
Yeah, they drew him there.
I don't even watch that episode on repeat because it's just a shitty episode. The whole fucking thing is just fucking tear bait. Like, it's not even a good episode of Futurama. Fucking stupid.
All right. Yeah, some people agreeing with you out there, Mike.
I get if you're into dogs, I get it. It just doesn't connect with me. Or this guy, apparently.
Well, it's nice people agree with you. I wonder what that's like. I wonder what that feels like. Must be nice.
Hey, Mike. Hey, Carl. Mike, it is Joe Gatto's #1 fan here. I called in about pizza last week, and Carl, if I wanted your opinion, it would be about gefilte fish, maybe taxes. So when there's pizza talk, shut your mouth, music boy. Try the hot honey. I think it's delicious. Don't call me back.
Well, I can't have an opinion
Comment?
on this. I don't like the hot honey. Have you tried it yet?
I have not.
Okay, it's on a lot of pizza. You can find it in a lot of places now.
All right,
it's not,
let's see what I can do.
WATS. That's 2 weeks in a row now without pre-banter. So you've killed the bit, right? No official announcement, no letting us down easy. It's just gone, right? And that's fine, but come out and say it. And authorize, if you're not going to use it, it's a dormant bit, authorize the boys over at Who Are These Broadcasters to use the pre-banter bit, because they have been champing at the bit to banter, but they are scared shitless about appropriating the intellectual property of WATS.
As they should be.
So free it up. Let the Christian and Zane over there use it. They may not be allowed the banter, but I'm sure that they'll take the pre.
If I get even a whiff that Christian Blatt is bantering, I will rain hellfire on Who Are These Broadcasters.
He goes, you can take the pre. Here comes the pre. Yeah, I noticed that Christian does get very nervous whenever they start to have a little banter session.
Good.
He's concerned about ripping us off, as he should be. I was just on Who Are These Broadcasters this past week. We talked about Corey Feldman with Billy Corgan. We also watched Stuttering John on that news program, that daytime news program. So,
yes, very good.
Fun episode. Check it out. Who Are These Broadcasters? On this channel, you can listen to it wherever you subscribe to podcasts.
This is for WATS. John Sarasani is from fucking Schaumburg. Okay, so first things first. Schaumburg is a fucking not a suburb of Chicago. It's its own city. Everyone in Chicago fucking hates Schaumburg. They're very prissy. They're very fucking bougie. Schaumburg is not a fucking hard place to grow up. Those are fucking assholes. He deserves to be treated as such a fucking asshole. If you go on to there's a lot of fucking influencers from Chicago who just make fun of fucking people from Schaumburg who say, "Oh, we're from a suburb of Chicago. Oh, we're from Chicago." No, you're from fucking Schaumburg. Get in your fucking lane. Stop acting like it was a fucking hard place to grow up in.
See, this started with me thinking that John Sarasani shouldn't be taking credit for going to Schaumburg. And now it's turning into, people actually do hate you if you're from Schaumburg.
That's true. He did have some adversity if all these people hate Schaumburg.
Right. Yeah, you're kind of making his point for him here.
He's an underdog.
I grew up in a suburb of Chicago myself. I don't fucking say, "Oh, it was so hard growing up there." I grew up in the fucking Jewish area. There was no fucking ghettos or whatever there. It wasn't a hard time to fucking grow up in. I didn't grow up in Chicago itself. Stop fucking acting like it was hard. It wasn't. You're a fucking football player. It was not fucking hard for you. But yeah, no. Go fuck yourself. I love Mike. Carl can go fuck himself.
Oh, jeez. I mean, you can just say you love Mike, and I'll just assume the rest. You don't have to actually say it, but we all love Mike.
Thank you.
A couple more voicemails coming up, but first, back to the supertip.gg/WATP to support the show. We appreciate that.
Get away from the kiln, you little shit. Your tiny trans hands would just ruin my art. Get back to packaging where you belong, you disgusting monster.
Get back to packaging.
I can't wait till it comes out that he's like working with Ellen DeGeneres.
Yes. Oh, there's always these type too that you find out are just monsters.
Yes,
that'd be amazing.
An art diva.
Destriga coming in.
Hey Carl, your hair's looking sexy. Can you come and help me find out who robbed me? I'm doing interviews in my fun dungeon. I assume it was those delicious brown boys that tossed my salad.
Okay.
I think Woke Dad's the most, even when I listen to your other shows, I think Woke Dad's the most popular voice.
It is. Yes. Woke Dad gets used all the time because a couple of reasons. A, you can say like lots of gay stuff and that's always fun. But B, it's a really good AI voice. You can't tell the difference.
Yeah, it sounds like him.
It's perfect for that.
This is for Who Are These Socials? Yeah, I went over to blindmike.net and I couldn't see anything.
What?
My the arm of my microphone just broke. It just snapped.
Oh.
I don't know if you heard that.
Looks like you're going to have to duct tape it, huh, Lady K?
That's really
not so
annoying.
crazy now, is it?
Just fell into my lap. Anyway, good joke, sir. We got some Julia Fox voicemails coming in.
Oh.
Hey, Carl, one for WATS. In reference to your latest fabulous bonus episode with Blind Mike still breaking down that horrible bitch, Julia Fox's ridiculous book full of lies, I think I've cracked the code, though, as to why her family sent her to Italy when she was a young teenager and didn't want her back, even though they stayed with the other kids. Why she can't keep a relationship, why she can't keep even a friendship, and for just a couple of weeks seemingly. I think she stinks. I think that's what it is. I think she inherently fucking stinks.
Pussy smells, yeah.
I think she was stinking up the place in America. That's why her parents chucked her out. And then at one point, the sister of a boy she didn't like but was dating came and slapped her in class and called her a whore. That's Julia's own words. I think what she said before that was, "You've made my brother's cock stink like rotten shit, you whore," and then slapped her. Just a thought.
All right. Well, you really thought that one through. It wasn't just like a theory.
It's interesting, and then they think like maybe she'll fit in more if we send her to Europe. You know?
Right? Yeah. No one's even shaving over there. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Just sweaty armpits out. No one cares.
Theory.
Last voicemail.
Yeah, hey, checking in again. Still driving, now listening to the crossover with Blind Mike, talking about Julia Fox. What kind of Italian girls who don't speak English are named Barbara and Sarah? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, her friends in Italy.
Yes.
That all seemed very odd.
And they're like, "Hey, girly, what are you up to?"
Yeah, there was the way that they were talking, like Valley Girls, also didn't seem like they were in
Oh my
northern Italy.
God, Julia.
Mike, don't go to Italy. That's too far away. Go to blindmike.net. That's where you want to go.
And you can see things there, like all of my links. We'll be live Sunday at 10 a.m. on the Blind Mike Project. And a little treat for you people. We've got a special guest on Why Are You Laughing? One Carl Hamburger, talking about Weird Al. And that'll be available sometime tomorrow night if you're a member on Patreon or YouTube, or you'll be able to get it next week with the regular folk. And available right now for Why You Laughing is The Legend of Daniel Bobo Curlin. So go check that out.
Well, that is exciting. I'm looking forward to doing that with you. If people live in the Western New York area, the Isotopes are performing at Skylark this Saturday night. Go to theisotopes.com for more information. You can see my band live. My band that has producer Chris on bass and Croge on the other guitar. Come down and check that out. But what I really want to tell you about, for most of you folks who don't live in this area, is dabblecon.live. We are actually adding shows. There's so much to get to with the Cape Media Season 2 tapes.
Mm-hmm.
I just had a meeting with all the guys yesterday. We were kind of figuring out what the weekend's going to be, because we'll be streaming live from Dabble House throughout the weekend on the WATP channel and Shuli's channel. But we're doing these shows that are behind the paywall where we're listening to the recordings of John and Kate with these love calls they were having. And there's so much to get to. We're going to start with Point Dabble Point Friday night. That's going to be 5 o'clock. That's going to start things off for us. We'll start teasing some of the tapes on WATP's live Saturday night at 8. And then we got the Viewer Film Festival Saturday afternoon. We're going to watch the episode that John was on, Wings, which we can't watch anywhere else because it gets copyright struck, but we can do it with the paywall.
It's an Emmy-worthy performance, I have seen.
It's amazing. We got the Uncle Rico show with more tapes Saturday night, and then there's a trivia contest that Shuli's doing after that. So I just implore you to go to dabblecon.live. It's going to be worth the price of admission. So please check that out. I'll be hanging out next weekend in Florida. And I won't be around on Thursday night at this time. I will be traveling. So we'll figure out what we're going to do for Who Are These Socials. We'll either record at a different time, or maybe Mike will take over the slot on his channel. We'll see what happens. That's TBD.
Stay tuned.
Yes, correct. All right, Mike, what do you think?
The thing that Daniel says.
Anyway, social media, I'll catch you later, man.
Who are these socials?
That's what this audience wants to hear. Like, whoa!
Who are these socials?
I'm the one who should apologize. Folks, what you were about to see is real.
With Carl.
Okay, we got it.
And Blind Mike.
Who could have thought of that?